Welcome back to our Superhero Spectacular. This week we have a movie directed by a TV director, and it may be the squirtiest DC movie of all time. I'm Derek.
Oh, I'm Jack, and I need a squirt.
Squirt, squirt. This is Whitney.
This is Bad Movies, Worst People. He squirts all over this movie.
Yeah, he does.
It's only 2 minutes, but he squirts a lot.
It's a squirty 2 minutes. You don't remember that new Spice Girl Squirty Spice? Peter O'Toole is Squirty Spice.
Squirty Spice.
I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want is a gin. A lot of it.
Just a squirt of gin.
Do you have a bucket of gin? I also call that a squirt.
That works.
So this week's movie is 1984's Supergirl.
Boy, it's
which
not
was
that super.
No,
It really isn't.
1984's Mediocre Girl.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be this movie was supposed to be the beginning of a franchise.
Okay.
And it was also supposed to come out earlier than it did. I don't remember the exact year, but it said that due to Superman 3 being such a bomb, this got shelved.
So this was supposed to be kind of like their Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, starting up their whole cinematic universe.
Christopher
Okay.
Reeve was supposed to have a part in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we get the poster of Christopher Reeve that she fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's your cousin. Don't touch him in those
It looks
places.
good, though.
I mean, we don't know a lot about Krypton. I almost said Klingon. That's a whole different species.
Different
That's also
nerd.
not a planet.
It's a different native.
We don't know a whole lot about Krypton. It could be like the Alabama of their part of the galaxy. I mean, they're supposed to be like hoity-toity upper crust rich
royalty.
people, but
You're
Yeah,
talking
they
about
are
a bunch of
royalty.
incest
there's
royalty,
but
dude.
I was gonna say I guess that makes sense. There's also a lot of rich people.
Maybe
in
the
redneck
destruction of
parts.
Krypton is actually just like a metaphor for don't fuck your family and make babies.
Yeah, that could be.
It's
What
like
are they?
the
The House of
description-
Yes, though. What's that thing? Not House of Yes.
Game of Thrones?
No, House
A lot
of
of
Yes.
cousin fucking
The
going
House
on.
of Zor-El.
Yeah, the House of Zor-El.
Oh, the House of the S. And actually, it's not an S. It stands for hope on my planet.
Yeah, so part of the reason I wanted to do this one, just want to put it out there, obviously we're doing superhero movies, and this is an old one that nobody's probably seen, but you can, because it's on HBO Max, in glorious high definition.
Doesn't mean you should.
No. But with that new Flash movie coming out, and them kind of re-cutting all the marketing for it, have you seen any of the trailers, Jack?
I've seen one.
Okay, I know you saw it, Whitney. So the original trailer, it's like, oh, Flash, 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 a little bit of Batman, a little bit of Supergirl.
Okay.
Right? And they barely even tell you that she's, in the first one, they don't even tell you she's Supergirl, I don't think. You just see a girl in like a black outfit because she's like in prison or whatever, beating up some people.
All right.
The new trailers, because of Ezra Miller's
Discretions.
troublesome lifetime,
Sure. Very troublesome for other people, especially.
they have recut the trailers so it basically has like, I want to say the thing I read, I didn't count, but the thing I read, I think said it had 20 seconds of the Flash or Ezra Miller in the trailer, and it's heavily focusing on Michael Keaton and I can't think of her name, but the girl playing Supergirl.
I mean, that's all I needed to see, by the way, was Michael Keaton donning that cowl again. And I was like, you got my money. Fuck
Yeah.
Ezra Miller. I don't want to punish everybody else on the movie for one person. There's a lot of people that work on this. I get it.
I have to say, the first time I saw the trailer, you were getting popcorn or
Me.
something. Yeah, Derek. You can't see
No,
him.
you saw it during the Super Bowl.
Oh, yes. I saw it during the Super Bowl, and they flashed.
Oh, that's the one I've seen.
Yeah, and they showed, my dad on screen, and I was like, oh, my God, it's him. And I totally fangirled out.
Yeah. No, that was the moment. I was like, yep, seeing it.
Well, this trailer looks like in the new trailer, there's a lot of like Batman action, but I can't tell if it's all from just one big, like the climactic fight scene. You know what I mean? Because you can tell the fight scene is going to be a big sprawling thing. So I can't tell if they were just showing different clips all from the same scene and he's still only going to be in like 7 minutes of this 4-hour epic or whatever it'll be.
I hope it's not 4 hours.
I mean, it's
have
a modern
small bladder.
It's a modern superhero movie. So it's going to be minimum 120 minutes, which is acceptable. I'm going to call it like 150 at least, like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 225.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if
I just don't know.
I don't know if they're going to bother with a stinger since that whole universe, this is kind of the end of that DC universe.
But what if the stinger being filmed was already to set up the next thing? Hey, you know how we know this is a bad movie that we just watched?
We are not even talking about it.
Well, we're still talking about DC.
We're talking about trailers, Derek. We're talking about movie trailers.
Yeah, and we'll probably talk about that movie. It's probably going to suck, but Michael Keaton will be great.
Also, I just want to point out, this is probably the third time I've ever heard your husband say Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, I say it once a year when I'm like, oh, I got to work during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but usually you call it like Sports Ball Trophy Cup.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he has done that a couple times.
The ultimate
But
Sports Ball Cup.
once he was like doing that phone gambling thing, he was like all into sports for a second.
Oh, no, he's into winning.
I was still like, hey, what's the tournament game that's coming up?
Yeah.
The tournament game. Turk's like, the football game?
What's happening in the throw oval run 'em down?
This movie came out in 1984.
And was supposed to set up. That's how we got.
Exactly.
How we got here. By the way,
I don't know if it was going to be like a connected universe kind of thing, but it was supposed to be like a Supergirl franchise, just like we had a Superman franchise. But if Superman was going to appear in it, presumably there'd be at least some crossover. I mean, it is a shared universe because at the beginning when Faye Dunaway is getting in that sweet ass caddy.
Oh yeah.
And she holds the magic spinny ball near the radio, and it comes on. They're talking about Superman fighting somebody. So
yeah,
it is.
I just thought that was just to let you know, like, hey, this is Christopher Reeves, guys. Remember him? Remember him? He's still here. He's making movies.
So this picture is rated PG, although we do get one shit.
Oh yeah,
which is interesting because I don't think shit's allowed in a PG. As I mentioned, directed by a television director primarily. This guy, and I'm gonna guess that it's Jeannot Zwark.
You know what? I don't care
because it's Jeannot Szwarc.
Jeannot, you didn't.
Jeannot, I did not pronounce that correctly. At least the last name. But wife, I told you that he directed every show you ever watched.
Yes, and I'm guessing.
Which, I mean, it's not every show you ever watched because you watched a lot of shows. But
can I guess?
Are
they CW shows?
There's a CW
You
show.
name 5 shows that you watch, and you're going to say yes or no.
Hold on. Quick question. Currently or have in the past watched. 5 years? Okay. Smallville.
He did direct like 5 episodes of Smallville.
Bing.
Arrow?
No. Smallville is pretty much the only CW one.
Okay.
A little help from the host.
Oh, you know what? I think he might have done some actual Supergirl too, the show. I think I saw like 2 episodes.
Half a bing.
Half a bing. Thank you. Thank you. I got a half a bing.
Arrow. Arrow was never on Supergirl. Supergirl was on Arrow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See?
Not like that.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Like Supernatural?
Yes.
Bing.
Like 15 episodes of Supernatural, I think.
I'm still gonna I have to say like the originals or Vampire Diaries.
No.
Oh.
So Grey's Anatomy.
Oh shit,
like
yes.
15 episodes of all of these. Grey's Anatomy, Bones, Castle, and like 7 episodes of Fringe, like 7 episodes of Heroes.
Love Fringe.
Yeah,
love all
Fringe
of these. I have rewatched most of these.
Yeah. And then he directed Jaws 2. So that's a movie that exists.
That's something.
That was around the last. It was that, and then this, and then I think he had one more movie, and then it was just television.
So Jack, Grey's Anatomy to me is Scrubs to you guys.
Oh yeah.
So I have rewatched that. They're on what, season 19 now?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, except for Scrubs is funny.
Much funny.
Oh well.
Much funny.
And I'm telling you, Scrubs is much funny, guys.
Yes, it is much funny. I mean, there's funny
I make
parts.
words fine.
But you know, I love that drama, that not like catty drama, but like the intense drama and the emotional. It's how I show emotions is when I'm watching shows.
So anyway, this is also Supergirl.
Try not to talk about it.
The writer of this movie was David Odell, who wrote the Dark Crystal, Master of the Universe, and a bunch of Muppets. So I mean,
some good writing here. I mean, I'm not saying Master's a good movie.
No, but it's
fun. The script might have been good.
Yeah.
We don't know.
They didn't know it all.
Yeah, this script could be here or there. I guess I just stopped paying attention. Right at the beginning, we have a $1 million credit sequence.
Yeah, we do.
Of names flashing
Shocked by
that
price that you told me, by the way. Shocked.
Especially in 1984?
Well, it wouldn't cost $1 million to do this now. You just do it on a computer.
Oh, yeah. No, you have a screensaver.
They had to do all this stuff in some kind of like manual way. I mean, they're
like
pretty
animation?
fancy credits, really, when you think about it.
No, I like the credits. It's just
Yeah.
that once you said 1 million, it was like, holy cow. Maybe could have done with something a little cheaper.
Yeah, but they were expecting it to be better. But
They wanted more.
Oh, hold on. We're still in credits, right?
Yeah,
I'm
I was
excited
just-
to introduce
Oh, no,
somebody.
we are at
I
the
just wanted to
credits.
look. I was looking real quick. Sorry. The budget of the movie is $35 million.
So it's a fraction.
Yeah, but still.
In the credits, though, I got delighted to see Peter O'Toole's
Oh,
name
you and I
again.
both were like, what?
Loving this man. But then he's gone for so long.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole is in the first 2 minutes and then like
The,
close to the last 2
2
minutes
minutes.
of the movie.
Yep.
And I
And
hope
guess
he
how
got
much
a
he
lot of
got?
money.
He got $10 million for that. I don't know. I pulled that out of my
way.
ass.
No fucking way.
He
Pete's
got, he got
that.
10 million beers. But this is,
I will take 10 bottles of gin.
He couldn't be. He had a bigger role, but he just couldn't be bothered on set. Like, fuck, dude, let's just get him out of here for a little bit. Most of the movie.
yeah, he's in a bunch more of this movie, but he was just fucking sloshed and they had to cut him.
And as your wife pointed out, it's not his name, the actor's name, it's the character name.
Yeah, like
so
High
it made
Spirits.
it really hard work for him. High Spirits, he's like, this is great. Peter, yes.
That's why he could be in so much of it. Yeah, he didn't matter how drunk he
Zoltan.
was.
Or Zoltar.
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 Zol-
Zoltar.
It's-
He's not paying attention. He's
It's
still-
Peter.
It's Peter. Try saying Peter. Peter, yes.
So they have an actor say Zoltar, and then like a PA next to him be like, Peter.
There's an extra on set. So, not you. You're Peter.
Line.
So he talks about
That's just him
he's,
demanding Coke.
he's he's like some kind of magician super genius or something
Yeah,
on this
inventor.
in this. Okay, I don't understand this world. Maybe it's a comic book thing because I don't do a lot of DC. I don't know, but this is Argo City. Because at first I was like, well, Krypton's gone, so who are all these people?
Yeah.
This is Argo City, which is in inner space, which is inside of outer space or outside of outer space.
Derek, if I know anything about inner space, and I don't, it's like the quantum realm
Yes.
Okay.
is what I'm getting from it, where it's like you can't just wander into the quantum realm.
Or it's just the bottom of a lake.
Well, no, I have to-
Some funny thing about the quantum realm, it can honestly look like a bottom of a lake sometimes. Strangely enough.
But that would make sense for that one scene where it's like, ooh, Bubbles, you look like you're in a DNA stream. And that's
yeah.
her expanding into full size,
I mean, the
jumping
inner
out
space.
of the lake.
We know that she's not inside somebody's body, or do we?
I mean,
Because that's the inner
I mean, I
space
was gonna
that
say,
we
isn't that
know.
what inner space is about, right? Yeah.
yes.
Fucking Randy Quaid showing up. No, Dennis, don't have Randy. Don't have Randy show up.
Dennis
That
Quaid.
movie could have also been called Journey to the Center of a Dude.
I think that was one that they were trying for.
But so yes, he's there. He's some kind of super genius or something, and he's talking to Kara Zor-El, who is played by Helen Slater, who's done some voice acting and stuff. And the other big things on her thing on her IMDb that I saw were playing Superman's mom and Supergirl's mom.
Dude, she's a 5-year-old stuck in a 20-something-year-old's body.
It's
But we talked about it during the movie, but it's like, yeah, she should be dopey when she's on Earth. She's dopey in her own society.
she's
Like,
just
you
like-
don't understand how life works.
I think
Yeah.
they're going.
I barely
for like,
do as well.
Well, I think they're going for like, oh, look at her sense of like childish wonder and like
Okay.
how and this is her first thing, so
Actor-wise, actress-wise,
yeah, this is her first role. So also by the way, apparently the role was offered to Brooke Shields,
I could see that.
but she was
yeah.
too tall. Like they offered it to her, then they were like, "Oh, you're too tall for this." Like
That's
maybe
all
they
the
made
men on
outfit.
set. They're like, I won't do it.
That could be it, honestly.
I will not work with a tall woman.
because she's 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
it's a tall woman,
That's great.
especially in 1985.
You know what a
whenever
tall
they
woman
filmed
means
this.
for me? Stand-up sex.
yeah.
Not bad.
Does that mean it's really funny sex in front of a brick wall? Or?
Well, that's the deal with vaginas. They barely join. I kind of walked myself into a corner. I was like, there is no punchline for
Into
this.
a-
That
You
ends
could have just
well.
left it at "What's the deal with vaginas?" We
Did
got
you
it.
walk yourself into a brick wall right there?
Yes, I did. I walked myself into a very clear wall, an invisible wall, if you will.
An invisible wall, like the
I
shadow
tried to
monster?
fly and I hit my face on the rock. I can't wait to get there.
I mean, this whole stand-up thing makes perfect sense for the sex thing because it's all been improv for me.
Well, and very similar to me, I got no one showing up. Thank you, he says to a quiet crowd after he finishes.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
There's just one person back there, but he's been there all day. He's just drunk.
He's
like,
dead.
It's Peter O'Toole.
Oh.
Yeah!
Spot
I
on.
was saying, spot on, old chap.
Good show. Good show.
You get a martini on me.
I'm afraid he's turning into Patrick Stewart in my throat. Just remind.
What a sentence. Peter O'Toole is turning into Patrick Stewart in my throat.
Yes.
So he's playing with this magic dildo and this little space ball that he's showing to
I
Kara.
think I had that one.
It's like a children's toy wand that has like lights inside of it.
They sold it at Disney in like
Yeah.
the fucking 80s. Like,
Or like when you're going on the Christmas rides and you get those spinny woo-woos.
the spinny woo-woos. Everybody knows spinny woo-woos.
You know the
What are you
light-up
saying?
wands that go spinny woo.
Yeah, they spinning.
I think they sell these at the swap meet now.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you
okay.
go.
I do actually know. You should have said swap meet spinny woo-woos. Would have had it instantly.
So like, but it's like a dildo and a butt plug because this
Yeah.
thing, the spinny ball, we don't see the part, but it's this thing that they hold between their fingers.
Do you remember what
And
it's called?
it's called the omegahedron.
There we go.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna remember that.
So, but it's like it's supposed to look like the ball is floating in their hand and spinning, but clearly they're holding like a thing between their fingers. Like Peter O'Toole starts spreading his hand open as he's doing his magic stuff, but his two middle fingers just
It's the
don't
reverse.
move.
It's the reverse Vulcan.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh yeah, there you go. I like mine more.
And it's clearly that. So it's got like a little base. So all I'm thinking is butt plug with the spinny light.
It's
and
a
then-
cool looking thing, not for a butt plug, mind you. Like it's.
it's a pretty cool
It's a
butt
little
plug.
intimidating for me.
Well, no, that
size-wise.
part doesn't go inside. That's
Oh,
the part
thank
that
God.
goes out
That's the part
butt.
that sticks out of your butt. And it
All right.
spins around and butt disco.
You should be a butt plug salesman because you just sold me, sir.
With my help.
I would just love to go camping. Like, where's Jack? I just drop my pants. Like, there he is.
Oh, he's taking a shit.
He's taking a pee. But
I
he's
can
got
tell
his
he's taking
taillights
a
on.
shit because the light was here and it just fell and then it picked back up.
Gross. Gross. You mean I picked it back up, right?
You can only see the light moving around. Is that a poltergeist in the woods? Oh no, that's Jack's butt plug.
Jack's pooping.
So Zoltar, so he's doing this stuff and he says it can create anything from your imagination or whatever. So he makes some coral sparkle or something.
Yeah.
And then he gives it to Kara and her mom and dad come out. Mom played by Mia Farrow, who's in this movie for less than 1 full minute, I think.
Yeah.
If we actually counted her screen time.
Yeah, I think it's
Like-
42 seconds.
If you're not counting like oohs and ahs or shrieks, it's like 3 lines.
Yeah. And the dad was played by somebody, but I didn't know who
He was a guy.
So, obviously
he
he's
was
played
there.
by
He was a
everybody's
person.
played by somebody unless it's a current movie, which is all CG.
Everybody's played by somebody
Sometimes.
sometimes.
So she's playing Allura.
we
Not
taking
that
this
it
on the
matters. So, but Kara takes this thing and just
said
creates
no.
like a. I didn't hear what happened. I thought you said something to her.
Are we taking this thing on the road? We're getting the band back together.
We're just gonna do fucking. I don't.
Did you brick wall yourself? You think it's fake, but it's tough.
I can't words.
Oh, it's okay. You're not doing like a podcast.
This isn't a word-based medium.
This is much more feel.
It's all about feelings. People can tell when they listen to this that we're just doing feelings.
They know what you
sometimes.
thought.
Yeah.
So she makes like a magic mosquito or something. Like,
It's a mosquito dragonfly monstrosity.
but like, so he's the expert and he makes the wall that's already there glitter.
Yeah.
She creates life and then brings it to life with the spinny butt plug.
We haven't said it, but he's not supposed to have it.
Yes, he stole it or he quote borrowed it.
He will not admit to stealing it. He's adamant. I borrowed it.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be giving it back
It's apparently the power source for this entire society.
on this rock.
Seems
or
like a
the
really
quantum
cool
level.
thing to
What'd you
just
say
borrow.
it was called?
Argo City.
I'll go to sleep when I watch it. I'll tell you that. I killed Derek with my pun.
I think you did.
So the
That was so bad.
I was trying to figure out where I was. So the mosquito tears this wall that's made out of
Clear
paper.
plastic bag.
Like it's literally like it's like the Martian when he makes that tent where he does like the greenhouse. Did you ever see the Martian?
No.
Matt Damon.
But I'll tell you what it reminded me of. The shit you put in a gift bag. Like that tissue paper, the colored tissue paper.
it's just like a clear plastic bag that
Yeah.
you put like
Yeah,
leaves in.
I don't think that's what should be around your society if you're floating in a vacuum.
100%.
And if it is what's keeping your society safe, hey, Peter O'Toole, don't give this chick a magical wand of destruction.
Yeah. So this little bug rips a hole in the wall and gets sucked out into space, I'm pretty sure. And so does the Omega Hedron.
The dodecahedron, yep.
Yeah, the whatever, the
The
mechamedron.
Omicron Persei 8, yep. Yep.
And then she almost gets sucked out. And I thought that's how she was going to come to Earth. I was like, oh, bye, Kara.
Thought so too.
But they save her, and
But
then
you
Peter
can't go
O'Toole.
from inner space to outer space.
Peter
don't
O'Toole
think.
fixes the wall with a little bit of reverse film.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
That was
I
pretty
like
awesome.
the practical effects in this movie. I almost call it a show because the director is making it a show.
Yeah, it did have like a show feel to it.
Yeah. Well, but not a good one.
And she gets in, and he's
a
been
CW
talking
show.
about, by the way, leaving and going to Earth or Jupiter or Saturn
Or
or Venus or wherever.
Oh, yeah,
He's-
he has not landed on a planet that
all
he's
I know
going
is
to.
he's coming to our solar system. He has no
Yeah.
interest in going anywhere else in the galaxy or universe.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
to
like,
the
make
worst,
a name up.
Like this is like we are the like Adirondacs of the universe, and you want to come here?
That would be like me being your travel agent and be like, all right, you can go anywhere. You can go to Houston. You can go to Austin. We can get you to Dallas. I don't want to go any of those places.
I don't
Okay.
want to go to Texas.
Fort Worth.
Anywhere other than Texas, sir.
We have a ticket to Galveston.
That's still Texas, isn't
Oh,
it?
how about we take you to Paris?
Texas?
Paris, Texas. Yeah, like just go a little bit outside our solar system. You know what? Build a wall. Keep them out.
Keep him out.
Make the Kryptonians pay for it.
The only place I want to visit is West Virginia. Fuck.
Why? Oh, sorry, you're white. I get it.
Yeah, the wild whites of West Virginia.
You'd be just. Oh yeah, I love that one.
That was
Is
nuts.
that,
Those
yeah.
people were insane.
Yep, the old mating call, and they'd shake the pill bottle.
My stepdad's from West Virginia.
Well, there was a documentary. I think it was a documentary, right?
You have a rich history. Yes, it was a documentary, and it was
It was called
fan-fucking-tastic.
The Wild Whites of West Virginia, and it's basically about like some families that are feuding in West Virginia, and they just keep killing each other and shit. Like it's kind of like that famous one, the Hatfield McCoy thing,
Yeah.
except for it's like about meth and like stolen radiators and stuff.
Justified?
Well,
Kind of, yeah.
you know what? This family could have easily made a foil for Timothy Oliphant and Justified.
Okay.
Easily. There's an interview with one of the guys. I believe it was Jesco White. And he's talking to this reporter candidly, and he's like, I put my knife to my wife's throat one day, and I said, if you want to keep living, you quit making sloppy fucking eggs. So I was tired of eating sloppy fucking eggs. So I threatened to kill her. And he went to jail for it and everything, and that's just part of it.
Oh my God.
These people are fucking bonkers.
It's insane.
I'm going to hold a knife to your throat now.
I don't make sloppy eggs.
No, you make
Musician
great
Hank
eggs.
III, Hank Williams
Hank
Jr.
I know.
Jr. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
He's in the documentary because he's friends with these people.
Oh.
These people.
Yeah, I said it. It's okay if you say it about white people, right?
All right, so she steals. So Kara decides she's gonna leave. Like, or he says they're telling him like, "Oh, you lost this thing. Our whole society is gonna die." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go get it." And they're like, "But you can't leave. No one can leave. That's the whole
It's
fucking point.
impossible.
It's literally impossible." And he's like, "No, it's not impossible. We have the binary chute." And they're like, "No, that's not how that thing works." So Kara sits in it, pushes one button, and that's perfectly
Turns
exactly
out it works
how it works.
great.
By the way, she
fantastically.
sits on like a parachute.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
But
There's
I
like a
think
weird.
That's what turned, because it was blue and red. And
Was it?
that's what
Okay.
turns
Yeah,
into
you
her
know
outfit.
what? Blue and red little cellophane. It might have been they didn't have the special effects money to have it coat her
yeah.
and turn into this what
While
we know
she was
as
on her 2001 journey there at the end of the
2001 / Willy Wonka / acid.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely I definitely
She's
wrote
going
down. I definitely wrote down Wonka Vader.
The
So
rowers keep on rowing.
instead of being on the boat, she's in the Wonka Vader going
Yeah.
through the death tunnel.
Yes.
Still being tortured by Gene
Dude,
Wilder.
Because it was the shape of an egg.
That movie,
It's
that
an egg
scene,
corn.
that scene is the reason that I think Gene Wilder is one of the best actors ever.
God, I just
Oh,
love
the
him from
boat
so
scene?
many
Oh, he's in a lot of
things.
great things, but that was like one of the first things where I was ever like, this person is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't have a memory of not knowing Gene. Like, my mom loves Gene Wilder, so I don't have a memory of not knowing who that dude is. Frisco Kid, Young Frankenstein. I mean, even the Richard Pryor ones, like Gene Wilder in my life big time.
Yeah, I mean Wonka. I that's one of the oldest things I remember. I don't remember when I saw it. I just know I saw it, and it's one of those things that's always been in my life. So we get to Earth and we meet Faye Dunaway, who is playing Selena. She's having lunch with Nigel, who's played by some guy,
With great teeth.
and they are eating on a tiger rug out in the park.
In the
Like it's
park.
got the head there and everything. And he sets like, I thought it was like a teacup or something.
I
But
thought
when
it
the
was a bowl
ball
of
falls
soup.
in it here.
Oh, it's just a bowl of
soup?
like brown mustard.
Yeah, when the
I
ball
don't
falls
even
in it,
know.
I was like, is that just cheese dip?
Fondue. It could be fondue.
Cold
They are
fondue.
No, I'm sure it was hot.
A hot cheese sauce on a tiger rug is a fondant. Like,
Yeah.
just don't do it.
You don't do it.
When the ball flies into the cheese sauce, it gets cheese sauce all over the tiger's face.
If
Yeah.
you can afford one tiger
Come
face
shot.
rug, you can probably get a second tiger face rug.
That's fair.
Not to the tiger.
So this whole movie, by the way, I didn't think Jack pointed it out. I had noticed, but I didn't really like register. Faye Dunaway gets the like noir, like Captain Kirk on Star Trek, like
It's
lighting
Elizabeth
treatment.
Taylor White Diamonds.
Yeah, it's the light across the eyes. Like it's dramatic, is what it's for.
Yes, absolutely.
But it also helps to hide things like age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still think Faye Dunaway is still looking great in this.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
she
could
does
get
have
it.
like, but she has very vibrant eyes, and so that brings out the eyes. And she's supposed to be like a witch / sorceress.
She's a
so-
sorceress.
I mean, she says witch, but
Well,
this is
she's
way more than a
the
witch.
siren
does.
of Endor.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is the siren of Endor.
She's the
You're not going to remember another one.
No, I'm not.
She had other ones, but they weren't
Something
funny.
The
from
only reason I remember
Chrysanthemum.
this one's because it had Endor in the fucking name.
Yeah,
No, okay. You're wrong.
yeah. The ball. I swear the ball came out of the sky, but it must have come out of the water because that's where Kara comes from here.
I
Yeah.
thought it came out of the sky.
Yeah. Either way,
It makes sense to land in cheese soup.
Yeah, the Omega Hedron lands in the cheese soup.
That is every episode that we've done, there's always one like, really, you're saying that, huh?
Yep.
And that is this one. Like, this is our lives now, man.
Ball flies out of the lake up into the air and then lands down into cheese soup on a tiger's head. Got it.
But what comes out of the lake after is so much better.
Yes,
the
it
first
is.
Faye takes the thing, the Omega Hedron, she just knows immediately that it's magic or it's whatever.
Well, no,
and-
she gets like a premonition and starts saying things. Like,
yeah, she's
this
talking all
person is-
biblical. They're always her and that other dude, Nigel. Are always
Nigel, yeah. I mean, the whole
biblicalizing.
time before the whole cheese ball incident, before the cheese bowl, they're talking mystical the entire time to each other.
Yeah.
He kind of seems to be her mentor, or
Yeah, I think
more
she was-
powerful.
Yeah, he's
or-
definitely more powerful.
He knows about magic, and she's trying to learn, and so she was trying to use him to do it because she's getting mad at him.
Yeah.
about how that's taking too long or whatever. And she gets the magic ball, and she's like, "Hey, Nigel, you're obsolete." And she jumps in this car, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well I've got the fucking keys, dumbass." And while she's like leaning over with the ball, it turns on the radio. It's where we hear about Superman, and then she goes, "Oh shit, this thing's turns stuff on." So she shoves it into between her legs. No.
This thing turns. This can turn anything on. Huh.
She puts it next to the ignition, the car starts up, and she drives away, and then he looks like an idiot standing there with keys.
I don't remember exactly if it's now or a little bit later. It doesn't matter to the plot, but it shows him walking through this whatever area, and he's wearing the tiger over himself.
Yeah, that's right. It's,
Oh,
well, it's
does
right
it?
now, right coming up when Kara is flying for the first time.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. That's right. Okay. I just like in
Yeah.
my
I
brain, I was
missed
like,
that.
never forget that.
No, yeah.
Never. You
During-
might have looked away. It's not long.
I
like-
blinked.
They show her flying over like Buffalo and mountains or whatever. She's flying over on her way to Chicago, I guess.
Chicago.
It's
First place an alien life form would go in America.
she
Well,
see,
she
we
is
see him.
bulletproof.
We see him walking like through the woods with the tiger over his shoulders.
Okay.
It's kind of funny.
They take the bus or they're in their car and they follow the bus and see the students come off. And then that's when they see Mr. fucking Ellis from Nakahami Heights.
What did
I'm
your
re-
wife just say? You need to translate what she just tried to say.
At first, I was thinking it wasn't going to be Chicago because it's like Metropolis and Gotham and those. You know.
Yeah.
But since it all takes place in Illinois, the Chicago
All right.
matches
There
up.
is a
Fine,
mention of
whatever.
Metropolis, maybe
Yeah.
twice.
So Supergirl
Oh, a squirt.
Supergirl goes on, has her little acid trip, and then she gets, and her, like the bubble thing opens up, and she flies out already in the Supergirl costume. But as she exits the lake, it is a straight up wooden cutout. It's a photograph of Helen Slater pasted to a wooden cutout being pulled out of the lake on a string.
Really
If
fast.
you have to watch this movie, pause and rewind. Pause and rewind.
It's
Like,
about
this is-
14 minutes in. She is a wooden cutout, and it's spectacular.
It is spectacular.
It's great. I mean, your roomie Amber stopped in just to watch us rewind that back part and was just like, "That's a fucking string."
You brought her up, not me.
Well, yeah, because it's relevant.
But yeah, she did see the string right away.
So now she suddenly has her powers because Earth's yellow sun, whatever. They don't explain that in this movie, but I guess they're assuming that you know because there's been at least 3 Superman movies.
But as you stated, you're happy for it.
Yeah.
You know, this is something I'll commend the movie for. It's like we've seen. I don't want to see Batman's origin story. I don't want to see
Ever, yeah.
Spider-Man get bitten. I don't want to say. We know. If I'm in the theater, we know.
And it's kind of stupid in the movie because she just appears and can do stuff and just knows how to do it. But I also don't need to watch her learn how to do it. This movie's already 2 hours and 4 minutes.
1, 2, 3, or whatever.
She like laser eyed Daisy open.
Yeah, she like uses her lasers on a flower
Which
and
was
it
weird.
lives. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that would catch on fire and die.
Right?
Oh,
But she's got more magic.
Hold on.
She's already got really good control.
It's a
over
sun
it.
ray because she's powered by the sun. So are flowers.
Yeah.
She like put it on tiny little amount of
She just-
nutrients. She just gave a little money shot of sunshine.
Ooh, a money shot of sunshine.
So she immediately figures out that she knows how to fly because it's like Peter Pan. She's like sniffing the flower and she's all happy, and then she looks down and she's like, "Oh, look, I'm in the air."
Turns
Oh,
out,
think happy thoughts.
Turns out that the flower she sniffed was like some concentrated form of peyote or opium, and this
Opium.
movie never took place. It's like, oh, what's this plant? We call it a poppy. Super sniffer, and then she's just heroined out.
She's
the
just
whole
some
movie.
runaway rolling around on a beach.
Spare change.
Oh,
This
yes,
movie
please.
never happened.
The flying is pretty good. You do see the wire like twice, but that is likely an HD thing, not a their fault kind
Yeah.
of thing. Because it does look really good for a while. I mean, you can see where the wire is like cinched onto her suit
But
a couple times and stuff.
It's
but I think it's
really
pretty good.
especially on our 4K TV.
Well, in a quick fast forward, it looks better than the ending when they're. I don't know how to explain it without. It doesn't matter.
Oh, God,
but
when they're like stretching.
it's when they digitally place an image of her into the movie. Looks awful.
Yeah, it
this
does.
looks great.
yeah, it did.
Yeah, well, when she's flying around on wires, it looks great, and then she gets the flying like the classic like person
Green screen, not green
laying
screen at this point, but
Oh yeah, but I mean they have blue screen and stuff still.
Yeah.
Like the person laying on like a blue screen platform, putting their arms out, and then they just superimpose images in the background because she is not proportional in size to her surroundings.
no, a
Not
couple
even a
times in
little
this
bit.
movie.
Faye Dunaway gets back to her house, which took a while to figure out, but is inside of a haunted house ride at like a
She
carnival.
keeps saying like this dump, and it's like, man, it looks like a big spacious area. And at some point later in the movie, her friend's sister, I don't
Bianca.
know,
Bianca, her assistant, I
comes
think.
through this house on like
A train?
Well, we thought like a model train, like big at some point, but no, it's a fucking ride.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's
it
called
cuts to the
it's called like
outside.
Ghost Town or something like that. Not the movie with Scarlett Johansson. but-
Inside of a ghost shell.
No. No, she was in a movie in the late 90s. I think it was called Ghost Town.
This town, it's coming like a ghost town. All the clubs have been closed down.
Is this a ska song?
What?
I don't know this song you're singing.
It's the specials. It's like the ultimate. We're fighting. I'm not doing this with her.
Well, that gave me the perfect amount of time to figure out what the fuck I was talking about. It's called Ghost World. Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch.
Back on track, though.
Thora Birch. I like
The
Thora
Bianca
Birch.
character reminds me of from Superman 1. I believe it's Otis. It's Beatty. Not Warren Beatty, but Ned Beatty. Lex Luthor's like right-hand man.
Oh,
it's
I was
kind
like,
of
Bianca reminds you of Ned Beatty.
No, Bianca's character.
Yeah,
it's that same kind of like not dumb. Well,
like the
Otis
sycophant.
is dumb, but yeah.
But they say the right things. Like, why don't you just not go after that? There's literally a million other people
She's
here.
the one
Yeah,
who's
she's
like,
reasonable.
she's
Yeah.
the one that's like, hey, being a witch sounds cool. Let's do this stuff for fun. And then fucking Faye Dunaway is the one that's like, no, we will own the world. And
This
she's
chick's
like,
happy to
"Open
live
the
in an
world."
abandoned fucking amusement park.
Yeah,
She's like,
and-
this is great.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Pinky in the Brain is happening right here.
Make myself a little cocktail. I ride the
Snarf!
ride.
And this lady, Faye Dunaway, has the spinny ball in her hand, and she's just like, we don't have to worry about those bills. We don't have to worry about the water. We don't have to worry about property
What about
taxes.
property
Yeah, we
taxes?
don't have to worry about
Gone.
anything. We don't have to pay bills anymore. Look at this ball. It spins.
I think I will take one of those butt plugs, Derek. If I don't have to pay property tax anymore,
Yeah.
you could put something up my butt.
All
butt
right.
plugs that pay the bills. So Supergirl is flying around and she has this like Fitbit on.
Oh, yeah.
Which apparently is to track the hecadecahedron.
Do you know how? Do you know how she got this?
I don't.
At one
Peter
point, Peter
O'Toole.
O'Toole took his vibrator and like touched her wrist, and it manifested that the vibrator of creation, we'll call it. No, yeah, just like he had the foresight to be like, she's gonna need this if she ever loses that ball. Oh,
Yeah.
there it goes.
It's like he knew this was going to happen the whole time. He's like, see, I told you I was going to the Phantom Zone.
He
I was
gave a
going to
gun
say,
to a
maybe he could see
child.
the future,
did.
but he did not see that he was getting sent to the Phantom Zone, unless that's how he Googled that recipe for his squirt drink that he makes.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
there's one thing that's really important. I need to know how to ferment anything to make alcohol.
He's like, here, drink this squirt. It's just jankum.
Jank him, damn near killed him.
So yeah, she ends up in Chicago, and we get like the kind of confused alien scene, where she like lands on the street, and this big semi pulls up, and immediately Jack was like, well, these guys are going to try to rape her.
Yeah, I'd said try to R her.
Well,
'cause, I mean, God, it's such a tough word.
It is,
But, yeah,
but I mean, that's what...
you just know 84, truckers, blonde girl, skirt.
It's
Yeah.
what we do.
There's two truckers. One of them is some guy named Bill Mitchell who didn't really do anything. The other one is Matt Frewer, who it took me a minute, but he's the guy, I can't remember his name now. He's from Eureka.
Oh, he's
The
that
Australian.
Australian guy from Eureka. He was the neighbor dad from...
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Not the
also did a
Burbs.
bunch of other stuff. Max Headroom. He had a very small arc on Fear the Walking Dead, and I wish I didn't know that, but I do.
That's way after
sorry
I
for
finished
your life.
watching Fear the Walking Dead.
I'm
Or any
very
Walking
sorry
Dead.
for my
sorry.
life.
I almost said that's after I stopped watching Fear the Walking Dead, and I was like, I wasn't even watching Walking Dead when that shit started.
I think I got to season 3.
I got through season 3, and I was still liking it, and then season 4 started, and I watched the first episode and was like, man, I don't care anymore.
If I'm dating,
And I read the whole fucking series.
if I'm dating a chick that wants to watch it, I'm watching it. That's it.
You little boom boom.
Well, it's
You
not
see,
the
this is
sexiest
what happens.
times.
This is what happens when you get married, though. Then she's like, I want to watch this. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'll just sit here with my headphones on and be on my phone.
Why do you think I've been single for the last couple of years? I'm not watching shit I don't want to.
Well, I don't have to watch it. I just put my headphones in.
My life is headphones.
It's not often I do that to you, though. It's only when you need to edit this show. Then I'm like,
Or most days.
you have to edit, so I'm going to watch this.
Ugh. Watching like the fucking Real Housewives of Gary, Indiana.
No, it's not that stuff, but it's all like young adult fucking TV shit.
No,
like,
Also, that would be a terrible Housewives of Gary, Indiana. You could say almost anywhere else, but I didn't. Like there's no beach in there.
Molly Ringwald's there. No, it's a different town in Indiana.
Real
It's Shermer.
Housewives
That's
of,
Illinois.
Tucson?
Shermer, Illinois.
Real Housewives of Yuma, Arizona. There's like 3 teeth in the whole
Gross.
cast.
Most of them end up dead.
In the
Spoilers.
first episode.
Spoilers for Real Housewives of Yuma.
But so she beats these dudes up and throws them in some piles of boxes. And it's like the slowest when she throws the bigger
second guy.
She like throws him, and this wire work is like it was the real guy, and they didn't have a stuntman, so they were just like
Slowly pulling.
slow. He flies. It takes him like 5 seconds to go from when she hits him to landing in these boxes, but these boxes are 4 feet away.
I'm wondering if they were thinking it would look like a slow motion thing if they just did it
No,
slowly.
I think they just were like, this is what we got.
Oh.
This is what we can do.
Well, they could have sped it up
if that
like they
is-
did
if
on
that
the
is what
Whirly
they were
Whirl.
thinking, though, huge miss.
Yes.
Because like you didn't even make the slow motion like you know
they-
the sound.
They could have sped it up like they did on the Whirly Whirl.
Well,
You
and
know what I'm
they
talking about.
speed up this whole fucking movie anytime she needs to.
Yeah,
So I mean, you have that technology. We can rebuild it.
that's why I think they were thinking it would look slow motion.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't do the. Again, we got visuals for you guys.
So then we go to Faye Dunaway is hanging out in her amusement park house, having like a Rocky Horror Picture Show party.
Yeah. A lot of cultural appropriation here. She's wearing like full authentic kimono.
Yeah.
There's a white chick in a Native American dress. Like basically just cosplaying Pocahontas.
Yeah, I think that's what she was
maybe
trying to
it's
play.
Halloween, or maybe they're just—it's always Halloween if you're a witch.
I
Exactly.
don't think it's okay to dress up as Pocahontas as a white girl on Halloween.
Well, not in 2000. What year is it? 23. In 1984 or 1979 or whenever they actually filmed
no,
this.
No, you're right that
Who
they was
gave a
okay
shit?
then. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was going to say my sister dressed up as Pocahontas one year, but she is part Cherokee. So
Oh, I'm sure if you went back in the
And not like in the way where everybody says, well, I'm like 5% Cherokee.
No, she's
Yeah.
like, she's
Oh
like
no,
it's
it's always some bullshit like I'm 1/8. I'm just gonna say that I think that this chick probably has relatives alive that hunted Native Americans for the government. So
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't dress like that.
Yeah, that's fair. So Faye Dunaway, just to show that like, her level of magic at this point, because she's not supposed to be a good witch magic sorcerer lady, but she gets jealous. They're talking shit to each other, and he goes and hits on some weird like high pitched sounding.
Because he comes back, by the way.
Yeah, he comes back to the house. She left him in the middle of nowhere, but he wants to be with Magic Witch. He wants to know about the ball because he's always talking about.
Now he does. Yes, I think before he was chasing a little slice.
Yeah.
And now he's like, to hell with sex. She had a ball. She had a butt plug of power.
Yeah, she had the Omega plug.
That's the Infinity Stone you didn't see Thanos use. Power plug.
That's the black Infinity Stone.
Well, it wasn't black when it started.
But this ditzy girl is like eating fruit out of some kind of like cocktail or something, and
Every cocktail in this place, by the way, is like dry ice frothing over.
Oh yeah, well because they're witch cocktails.
Witch tails.
You know, it's exactly what I was just thinking. Okay,
Well, we were all latchkey kids, right?
Yes, we were.
but Faye Dunaway gets jealous and turns it into a scorpion. Like the fruit into a scorpion, and this chick bites into the scorpion and immediately like screams, and I think steam comes out of her ears.
That might
Unless
have
that was just
been
from
the,
someone
the
else's
dry
drink.
ice
I
drink.
didn't see the steam.
I
see
don't
it.
know. I saw steam or something. I don't know. And
Maybe
then she
because-
falls over, or maybe it comes out of her collar. I don't know.
It could
She
be because
flips
now we
upside
see
down.
that Faye Dunaway's it like flips her upside down.
Yeah.
And spins her and tossed her across the room telekinetically.
Yeah, and then she gets up and has no idea what happened, and it's like, well, what's the point of torturing the person if they don't remember it? Come
But
on.
she did have awesome glasses
Well,
on.
still make you feel good. Oh, she had great glasses.
They were mouths.
like almost like open mouth Mick Jagger lips.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was all about it.
I only bring it up because it's pointless scene other than it's showing like that's kind of her level of magic. She
Her
can
power's
do little
growing now.
things,
I don't think
but-
she had this before.
No, she couldn't do shit.
Because
That's kind of what
Nigel's
they
like,
implied.
"Whoa, calm down, girl.
Yeah.
You're going to get a little too big for your britches."
Yeah.
Shows her a cigarette case with a monster in the
oh,
reflection.
she lights
Yeah.
his cigarette with her finger.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's a party trick. Look at this beast that I have in
Yeah,
my
and then,
power.
so I'm
Cigarette
assuming
lighter.
that this beast. So yeah, there's something in the reflection. It's some kind of. He says it's the beast of her like overwhelming ambition or something. But I'm pretty sure it's the same thing that she summons
Yeah,
later,
the
the shadow
shadow
monster
monster.
or whatever.
This is the closest we're going to have to Chekhov's gun in this movie, by the way.
I think so.
You know, it's the only thing that really comes back.
I mean, the BB wrist.
Yeah, sure.
It's-
Peter O'Toole.
That's kind of just, well, all right.
That's Chekhov's drunk.
It's Peter's Pilsner.
Look, if somebody's drunk in the first scene, they need to be drunk and die in the last scene.
Yeah.
You got it.
If someone shows up drunk in the first act, they die in the last act from being drunk.
Done.
Got it.
Say less, fam.
Oh, spoiler alert, Peter O'Toole dies. So
no.
we find out that Kara can also like change her appearance, which I don't think is a Superman thing because he wears fucking glasses.
Yeah, she straight up like changes her entire
Brunette
identity.
hair,
Yeah.
the super suit. Maybe that's
clothes.
what it is. Like it just changes to what she needs. It's whatever was in that.
She didn't even have to get in a phone booth though.
But she walked
but I'm
behind a
saying,
tree.
though, she had the
Yeah.
magical eggcorn clothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it 100%
It's the
changes.
binary clothes.
Oh, there you go.
It can change into two outfits 'cause that's all she wears is the school outfit and the Supergirl outfit.
It's gonna be awkward when she graduates.
Oh.
Just walking around dressed like a schoolgirl for the rest of her life or Supergirl. Either way, it's gonna be weird. for
Someone's
her.
into it.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there. It's like, yeah.
So she's gonna sneak into this like private school because I guess that's the nearest building.
She sees girls playing softball. It looks fun to her. So
Yeah.
you know.
She's like, oh, they're about my age.
Because she doesn't know that there's a catastrophe going on, other than she knows she needs to find the Omega Decahedron, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Omicron Persei 8.
Yeah.
The butt plug.
I feel like we're all Drax from Guardians 2. It's like the colloidal-maxilloid batteries.
The Harbulary batteries.
None of those were
That's
right.
not what I said.
We're all just doing it now. Great. I'm Drax.
Jackson 3.
Oh, yeah. Drax and
We
Mana's
said we're
show.
all just doing it now. Like things. Now
Big
we're all
hearts.
standing in a circle like a
Like
bunch,
a bunch
of
of-
jackasses. She goes to this school and she walks into the principal's office and he starts yelling at her. And it's this guy. By the way, I only wrote it down because it's hilarious. His highest, like his best known credit on IMDb is the right door knocker in the Labyrinth.
So that's the deaf one, correct?
You would know.
I've
you are
seen
the
the Labyrinth
resident.
once.
I very much know the scene. I just don't know the left and right, which one says what.
And also, is it stage left?
Stage left. It would be audience left.
Well, no, because never mind.
I know what you're
But
saying.
the first one is in his nose, and the second one's in his ears.
Those are the ones that can't tell lies, or is that something else?
That's something else.
I've
Those are
seen
the
that
other
movie
talking
once.
doors.
I don't know, man. All I remember about that movie is David Bowie's balls, both the ones in his hands and the one in his slacks that are in your face this
Well,
whole time.
that's
for a
probably why
children's movie.
he's like, I'll do this if all of my co-stars are at crotch height and I get to wear riding pants.
Well, and then not to be fair, the one time I did see it was with a girl I dated in high school, and she was obsessed with David Bowie, and so we watched the movie, and she's like, "Look at him." And I'm like, I don't want to look at them.
this
I
is
wanna
actually
look
a
at
good
the
movie. I
puppets.
just don't want to look at his nuts.
Oh my god, I'm still obsessed with that movie.
That's a great movie.
I can literally, I will quote the whole fucking movie with you.
You know, it's not a great movie.
Dark Crystal.
Supergirl.
So she says her name is Linda Lee because she sees a poster for Robert E. Lee, and I'm like, well, that's a great way to take your
Oh,
last
and
name.
the principal's name is
is
Danvers.
which is at least her adopted last name in
The CW
Supergirl
version.
CW show, but presumably that's from the comic books, I would think.
It just doesn't make sense for her not to be
Also,
Danvers.
Why didn't
Yeah.
she just say Kent? When
Yeah.
she says that she's Clark Kent's cousin.
Yeah, 'cause she like fakes a resume somehow or a record.
Oh,
letter
homeboy
of
walks out of the
recommendation.
room to go. Nigel, spoiler, not spoiler, because it happens right now. Nigel is a teacher at
Yeah.
this school. Calls the principal out
This
of the room.
terrible
Now we're
principal.
talking fast forward. Oh, I love this principal. We'll get to that in a second. But now she does the fast forward movie thing where she goes and she types a letter. She throws in this dude's filing cabinet under K for Kent.
Oh, she typed it. Okay,
Yeah.
I missed that because I saw her
Yeah.
going through the filing cabinet and stuff, and I was like, did she like laser eye this thing? Like,
No, she like speed
lasers-
stenographered.
Lasers.
But this principal is so awful.
He's so depressed.
It's like a reverse fortune cookie.
He's the
It's
Eeyore
like-
of a school.
Instead of it saying like tomorrow's your day, it's like don't even try. Tomorrow sucks.
yeah.
the
Just stay
greatest
in
thing
bed.
ever happens
Kill
here when
yourself.
he takes her to introduce her to her roommate because he's like, okay, you can come to the school because Clark Kent wrote us a letter. I guess.
Sure.
So he goes and knocks on the door.
Tuition be damned. Just give me a letter.
And
Right?
this girl answers, who's clearly the spunky tomboy because she's got the hat on backwards,
Sideways.
hair's coming out of it, or sideways.
Sideways, but
Mud
hair
all
sticking
over
out of
her.
it. She's got mud all over her.
tuft of hair. You know I love
Yep.
a spunky little tuft.
She's
Funky little
short
tuft.
hair, ginger, so she's a tomboy because it's the 80s.
Short hair ginger is what I call my junk. Go on.
But they made sure that you knew she wasn't a lesbian because her walls are covered in half-naked men.
Wall to
All
wall
of her
hunks.
section of the room.
But this
There's
is
a guy in
amazing.
a leopard like thong. There's a British royal guard with the big black puffy hat. It's range.
it is.
This is the best line of the whole movie. The principal knocks on the door. She answers it and like looks out and she goes, "Oh, Principal Danvers, I'm not decent." And he goes, "And you never will be," and just shoves the fucking door open. And I was just like, yes.
He is just bad. Even your wife was like, "Dan, is this your principal that you had growing up? Did this mold Jack Petty?"
He shoved the door open and said, "You never will be." And then he walked in and he goes, "You little liar." I think it's the next line because she's clearly dressed.
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
he like introduces her. He calls her Miss Lane, of course.
Yeah.
And it's Lucy Lane and Linda Lee. But then he gets
Whole
them
lot of
confused.
L's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did
Oh,
he
I do like this scene though. Like,
His-
all right,
his scene is
that's
super
Linda.
cute.
Linda.
Lane and Lucy Lou.
No, you just did it. Not Lucy Liu, by the way.
No, ooh.
He says Linda. Lucy Lane is Linda Lee, and Linda Lee is Lucy Lane.
And they just look like, no, I'm Linda. She's. Oh, you know each other. Well, we just met.
met.
When? Just right now.
But we've known each other for years.
So
Oh, right, because of the Daily Planet makes perfect sense. Bye.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Oh no, wait. There's one part. This is a part where the principal literally just stands in front of Kara and like backs her into the door and is just like, "You're looking at me, not this person."
Yeah, he
behind
starts
me."
talking to Lucy. He's like, "Forget Linda ever existed because I just did.
Yes.
We're talking here."
This is our Christopher Reeves cameo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was supposed to be in the movie, so this is his poster that she's just like rubbing up on. Like,
Oh, my God.
yeah.
I know what she's trying to
Cousin.
do, like character wise, but it comes off as like thirsty.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, let me just tweak my cousin's nerves real quick.
And yeah, like we said,
Flick the
Nigel's
sack.
one of the teachers. And we have the field hockey scene. I think there's a little thing there, but we'll get to that. There's a field hockey scene.
It's just to introduce the bullies.
It's just to show,
Yeah.
well, it's to show that Kara is like nice and she's using her powers for good, even though she doesn't really have like a super thing to do. I think it's an excuse for her to use powers.
Yeah.
Because there's like this girl who's a bully, because none of this ever comes back.
Well, the bullies only exist so she can use her powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2 times that we see it.
Yeah, there's this girl who's
Back
of
to
course
back.
like an overweight girl, so that makes her the bully. And she's being rough with Lucy
Her own team.
who's on her own team. And then she
And
tries
they're
to
in a match, like
Yeah.
currently.
But I mean it's like an in-school match. What does it really mean? It's like PE.
Reds versus greens over here.
But she the bully ends up hitting the field hockey ball at Lucy's face, and Kara slow motion with hard quotes dives in front of it, and the ball just shatters on her back, and literally 2 people are like, "Oh wow, that ball just broke," and then no one ever mentions it again.
Oh, I would have so many questions.
So, there is a hard R in there,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and I think it's Lucy.
What's wrong with her? It cares what's her problem or what's wrong with her, and she's like, I don't know.
She's
a
a
hard R.
Yeah,
It's 84. You're
Yeah.
getting it. It's gonna happen.
and the next scene is
It's a shower scene,
it's
right?
almost. I was like, is this Porky's thing? What's going on here?
Yeah, because she is loving this water.
Yeah, the
by
bully
way.
is in the boiler room where Freddy's not right now, and she's cranking on this giant
Just going
nut
back
that's
and
supposed
forth.
to turn off the cold water. I guess I don't know how plumbing works,
It's
but
not
I'm
a
pretty
ratchet
sure it's not
though,
this.
and she's not using like a socket. She's using a crescent wrench. So up and down is doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's doing
And if
nothing.
I just pump it, I'll pump all the hot water in. So she wants to turn off the cold water and
also,
burn them with
3
hot water.
non-plumbers, so don't come at us.
3, that's my band.
3 non-plumbers.
Right
It's
here.
all
this is the
covers
band.
of 4
And I
non-blondes.
poop in the toilet and I wipe real good. I said, hey.
My finger slips inside. I said,
Tampon goes in the trash. Sorry. I made it about a girl.
It's okay.
it's fine.
So yeah,
Don't ever apologize for being a girl.
But this
never
girl,
do.
by the way, is trying to
boil.
cause severe damage, severe burns to these
Oh, yeah.
people.
She even says
You're
something
getting
like,
a Dante's Inferno
Yeah,
situation.
her friend
real
is like,
quick,
let's just make it cold water. That's funny. And she's like, no, let's burn off their skin.
which, by the
or
way,
something.
would be much funnier.
Yeah.
Cold water makes funnier, and it doesn't harm.
yeah.
And Kara hears it.
I'm
It's
so
the-
good at talk words
It's
today.
the
You
first
are.
and last instance of her using her superhero hearing.
Uh-huh.
And then it's I think the first and last instance of her using her X-ray vision to
She
see
uses
through the
it once
wall.
before.
Does she? Okay. She sees through the wall and sees the bully who is literally the other side of the wall from her. which
Yeah.
It's also, I don't think how this works, but it's fine. And then she laser eyes the wrench to make it hot, or the bolt to make the wrench hot, and then the girl drops it. But then the water sprays all over her, and I'm like, I hope that was the hot water.
And I'm guessing it was, which would make now the cold water is going to be happening in the showers. So you pranked yourself, punk.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, how is she lasering through the wall and not damaging the wall?
You got us.
Supergirl, 1984.
So she because she can see through the wall, she has this magical opening, and she's like, and since I can see it, I can just
Oh,
eat that
hey,
up.
you
Just
know what?
so you know, all women have a magical opening.
Yeah, we did.
That's something that you're not going to get an explanation for.
He brought it back.
So, real quick, Selena's plan, it was a quick scene, it didn't really matter, is to make the whole world love her, but it never really comes back other than she makes a love potion.
It's a simple plan.
Like-
I just want to make the world
She's
love
well,
me.
you know what? People listen to people they love, so
Yeah.
I'll make everyone love me.
It's love or hate, love or hate.
Yeah, she read some fucking bullshit tarot cards. I've had tarot card readings. You don't treat it like Old Maid. This chick is playing Go Fish with. Do you have any deaths? Go fish. Fuck.
I'm just looking for a jester.
I need to
found
complete my stack.
So Lucy mentions that she is going on a date with someone from Metropolis who works at the Daily Planet, and it's Jimmy Olsen, who, when we eventually see him in his 2 shots of this movie,
Yeah.
is
actually
Mike McClure. Is that right?
Troy McClure's
Troy
son.
McClure's son.
But doesn't he actually play Jimmy Olsen in
Yes.
the movie?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Jimmy Olsen from
He's
Superman.
not Troy McClure's son. That's a Simpsons character.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your husband and I are.
I'm
still,
Troy McClure. You might
forever
recognize
13.
me from
Yeah.
such things as it was
Phil
Hartman.
Speaking of Pee-wees, rest in pictures.
But yeah, so Jimmy Olsen does end up being Jimmy Olsen from the Superman movies. He's the only character that reprised his role
He's
because
the only one that had nothing going on, Derek.
That was, and like I said, Christopher Reeves was supposed to be in it, but he had a quote unquote scheduling conflict. I'm like, yeah, he's like, I'm way too drunk to show up today.
He had to go ride a horse.
Do you want to?
Oh, God, I was gonna say that, but
I was gonna make a lighthearted joke right now. I was gonna do like a really Golly G Willikers impersonation of Jimmy Olsen, and I can't now. Fuck.
I love you.
Jesus.
We're bad people, right?
You know what? We're worse people.
Faye Dunaway does like a magic love spell where she has to like get a spider and put it inside of a walnut and sprinkle it with a little bit of love or something.
I don't know.
And
you're as close as you can get.
And it makes a liquid ? That she then gives to somebody, and the first person they see is the person they fall in love with.
We saw this guy earlier, by the way, working.
That scene that I was talking about.
Right when she is playing. She's not playing. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting this movie already.
Me too.
It's right when she walks up on softball, right before she changes her whole outfit. There's this sexy hunk of a gardener working out.
Okay.
Now it's him.
Yeah, so it's
This is where
they just want to set up because they have a young schoolgirl. She's like, "Who's that in the back?" Yeah.
His name is Ethan in the movie.
Your wife knew him from something, could not finger it.
Yeah, so we look it up, and as soon as I saw his name, I knew who it was. It's Hart Bochner, who is Ellis from Die Hard.
From Nakatomi Tower.
Yeah, she was earlier saying Nakahami, whatever she was saying. She was trying to say Nakatomi Tower.
There we go. Nakatomi Tower.
That's great. We'll never do Die Hard on this, but if we did, it would be Nakatomi Tower.
Not Die Hard 1.
We might do 2.
Maybe 2. Probably not 3. 4 and 5 are.
I only count that as a trilogy. I have like a mental block about anything past Die Hard.
The rest are just movies.
Live Free or Die Hard. Okay,
is that Timothy Oliphant?
Yeah, I saw them both. I saw them both in theaters because I'm a rube. But Live Free or Die Hard wasn't, from what I remember, wasn't that bad. It wasn't good, and it wasn't a Die Hard movie. It's like Bruce Willis is a superhuman at this point, right?
Yeah.
I tell you why I never saw it.
With Justin Long, right?
That's
because
why.
There is no yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
I did not know that.
People had told me that.
I went to see it in the theater, and I was like, PG-13, that's weird.
But you can have one fucker, right? You can have one fuck.
But I don't think you can have a motherfuck.
Oh, God.
So he says yippee-ki-yay.
He
says yippee-ki-yay, mother, and then there's like an explosion that kind of, and you can hear like, boo. I laughed in the theater. But I don't know.
Other people's dismay. Like,
yeah.
Hey, shh.
I don't remember it being that bad. That's the only time I've ever watched it. I do own it. I just never watched it since I bought it.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Do you know how many movies of these are not opened?
Half.
They're pretty much all opened. I had to get the digital codes out.
They're pretty much open.
They're
open in my mind, baby.
I had to get the digital codes out so I could redeem them and not watch them there either. But anyway, so I also do. Part of the reason I loved that movie was that his daughter is played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is super hot.
Oh, okay. I appreciate hotness as well.
She's death proof. She's like the main cheerleader.
She won't put your foot out the window.
10 Cloverfield Lane. No, she's not the one that gets her leg torn off.
Just kidding.
White.
Go on.
But
she's 10 of them.
Probably.
Oh.
Or more. But anyway, this is Hart Bochner. He's Ellis, who is the coked out douchebag from Die Hard.
Hans, Bubby.
Yes. And that's this guy, and he doesn't get to do any bubbies.
No,
although
Bubby.
It sounded like he said a bubby at some point.
When he was like, Supergirl above, it sounds like Supergirl, Bubby.
Supergirl, Bubby. Look up.
I mean, there is a Die Hard death kind of in this movie.
Yeah, there is.
But we'll get there. So she decides she's going to test this spell out on this guy because he's a hunk and she wants to bang him. And she's like, hey, if this love spell works on him,
they do got him hunky.
I'll put it in the water. I don't know what her plan is. If this love spell works on this one person, I'll make the whole world love me, ?
This is why at the end, maybe, that the castle, spoiler, the castle manifested on the top of the mountain. There's waterfalls all over it.
Oh.
So has she done this and we didn't see it?
She entered it.
They just don't explain anything in this
I
movie?
don't know. Maybe I'm connecting dots that don't exist.
I don't know if this is the director's cut. I doubt it. But apparently they found like an entire film case, like in like an old studio, wherever the place was. They made this Pinehurst Studios or whatever in England. They found an old film case that just was labeled "Do Not Use." And inside of it, there was a bunch of film, and they included a bunch of like 21 minutes or something like that.
I don't say
in
this
a
often
director's
about
cut.
art, but burn it.
We did pause it at one point. It was like, oh, how long's left? Like 40 minutes. Oh, no, a
Oh,
full
it was
hour.
right when your girl walked in. Like, how long do you have left? And I optimistically was like, oh, about 40 minutes. Wah.
57.
57 and change. Fuck me.
So this thing that kind of drugs this Ethan dude, and he passes out hard. He hits his head on this couch. It's fucked up.
Oh, after drinking a little bit of Schlitz malt liquor. This
No,
is
but
what
how
this
did he
fucking
drink
chick
this thing?
pulls it. But this is what she pulls from the fridge, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. But if you have company, offer them something better
Well,
than the blue
everybody
bowl.
wanted the Schlitz back then.
Nobody wanted the Schlitz back then.
People in Chicago did.
No, they drank Old Times.
Oh, I don't fucking
Illinois
know.
people, get at me.
Do you know what I was not
Old
doing
style.
in 1984?
Old style, thank
There
you.
you go.
Oh, Illinois people, don't get at me.
They'll get at you now.
Yeah, they go, fuck.
My
Tweet
parents
him
drank
at
Coors.
Jack. That's not going to work. He gets drugged and he passes out for about 8 seconds. And then, like, the doorbell is ringing because this carnival ride has a doorbell.
Why wouldn't you have a doorbell in a haunted
She
house ride?
installed one.
And she goes to answer
should
it.
play La
And
Cucaracha.
it's Nigel.
Nigel.
And he's talking shit. But they're
That's
all
not what he
it's,
sounds like.
it's really just to distract them. Like, he's not trying to distract them, but that's why it's happening storyline wise. So then Ethan wakes up and stumbles off through this house of horrors. He's like waking up from being drugged and
Bad
going
acid
through this
trip,
ride.
dude.
Yeah, and there's just
Yeah.
axes falling and like weird skeletons dancing.
I know no one can see your dance, but it is actually exactly what these skeletons do. Think about a human skeleton holding still and just the shoulders dipping up and down. Left in, right
One
in,
of them,
left in, right
like
in.
the left shoulder was stayed up, so it was like just twitching, like just the left shoulder was in the air.
It's
This
a
isn't
decrepit
visual,
ride. It's
but-
fine.
They got the toys from Big Lots.
Dude, I hope we get sponsored by Big Lots.
I don't think we will with all the shit talking.
They know what products they make.
Not anymore.
So then we get like the biggest product placement in this movie, which isn't like a big deal, but this is sloppy. Like there's a little bit of product placement in this. There's a little bit of product placement
the
in everything.
AMW root beer machine
No,
that you just
this
see him
one
get
is the
thrown into.
Popeyes.
No, I'm saying I'm giving you an example
Oh.
of a fine one. In my opinion, you got to get thrown into a soda machine, right?
Yeah.
It might as well have a logo on it. I don't
Yes.
care if it's Pepsi, Coke, A&W.
And the potential rapist was also wearing an A&W
I thought
shirt.
you said cocaine.
Oh shit, that's right.
You said Pepsi, cocaine, W.
Pepsi, Coke, and
As long as your vending machine has Pepsi or cocaine or A&W.
what kind of dystopian future? Like, hey, Derek, got a quarter? I need an 8-ball.
But all the kids are going on a group date to Popeye's Chicken, and they say the word Popeyes at least 4 times.
I will take a Popeyes fried chicken, Popeyes French fries. I will take a
Popeyes root beer.
Popeyes Pepsi Cola,
A Popeyes pot pie?
a Popeyes pot pie, and then we'll have Popeyes pot pie for Popeye.
Oh, and my poppy wants some Popeyes.
It's a lot of advertisements in a couple seconds or minutes.
And that's where we see Jimmy, who is the same actor. And it's, I mean, the meeting there doesn't matter. Also, by the way, though, there's this whole action scene that's about to happen. The only building that doesn't get damaged is the Popeyes.
Smart.
So Ethan is stumbling down the street like a drunk, and people are just like, "Hey, you dumbass, get out of the road!" Like no one's even checking on this guy.
What does she call him? Oh, a dingleberry.
A dingleberry.
She drops the big D on this guy. Get out of the road, you dingleberry.
What's a dingleberry?
Yeah, I was actually hoping for an explanation from this chick. Like, well, see, when your butt hair's got a little bit of poo, anyway.
But Jimmy, being the one from the big city, Kara's like, "Let's go help him," and he's like, "Oh, that guy's probably got a knife, or he'll shoot you or something. Just leave him go."
He's from the rough and tough streets of Metropolis.
Well, Metropolis is the equivalency of New York for that world. So I
But
mean,
you don't have to worry about strangers in Metropolis. You have to worry about aliens and super powered people taking your
I'm sure
house
there's
away.
tweakers that rob people too.
Probably.
It's
not
still,
Gotham.
It's still 1980s New York.
Oh yeah, Gotham's where you get tweakers. Metropolis has the good drugs. They have designer drugs like
I
Valium.
always thought Gotham was supposed to be like Chicago and Metropolis was supposed to be New York, but apparently Gotham is like a representation of New York at night, and Metropolis is New York during the day.
I was on the former of what you said. I always
Yeah.
thought it was Chicago and New York.
I learned that from something I listened to where they were talking about comic books.
But it's
okay.
clearly in Kansas.
No, he's in Kansas.
No, it's in Kansas in Smallville.
He grew up in Kansas. That's his hometown. He moves to Metropolis.
But in
as an adult.
Smallville, Metropolis is like a 4-minute drive from the town he grew up in Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Never
stupid
seen an
as fuck
episode of Smallville
because there is no city as large as Metropolis.
I know the
in
face you're
Kansas.
making is I'm not gonna do it.
I loved it. And
I
I
didn't.
rewatched it
I've never
again.
seen a full episode either. I've seen pieces. she watched all like fucking 13 seasons or whatever, and I probably made up one full episode.
All right, I'll vow to you if we ever, luckily enough, get a Patreon, we'll do fucking Smallville. Ugh.
And we'll be sitting here ripping on it, and she'll be like, "Stop it!
Okay,
Stop
this is my
making
favorite
fun of it."
episode next
No.
week. Okay, this is my favorite episode.
No, it's not that. But you do get introduced
Man,
to...
that guy's head looks a lot like a penis. Oh, it's Lex Luthor.
Did you ever watch Blue Mountain State?
Blues. No.
Good show. Stupid show.
So
We've talked, I think,
there's
about
a character in that called Thad who played Hawkman in the DC
Oh,
version.
Oh, he
Titans.
played
Titans.
Reacher.
He
Yeah,
played
Reacher.
Reacher.
Yeah.
He plays fucking Aquaman in Smallville.
Oh, I might watch just that episode because I actually really enjoy
It's a
that
couple,
actor.
but
He's
yeah.
fucking
But I
funny.
mean, wow, how useful is Aquaman in fucking Kansas?
Oh,
Valid
well,
point.
he's pretty fucking useful. And Lois is...
S and his D.
Aquaman,
Lois
people
is all
underestimate
about him.
Aquaman is like in the latter comics anyway. He's actually really fucking strong. Just in general, he's not on par with Superman, mind you, because he's omnipotent. But there is a level of strength
as
and
long
power
as
to
he's
Aquaman.
wet.
Okay.
No, just out of the water as well.
I think
No,
that
as
was an
soon as
old
there's-
thing.
Well, in Smallville, he gets dehydrated. Spoiler alert: Lex Luthor fucking dehydrates him, and he's weak as a button.
Is it a CW show?
It is.
All right.
I think it was a WB show, actually.
Yeah, it was a WB show.
That was pre W.
Yeah.
Pre-W.
So, anyways,
So
I digress.
So
We
there's
all do.
what's her fuck? Faye Dunaway
Better
is
than
doing
this.
some
Linda,
magic.
listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Faye Dunaway is doing some magic thing where she can see where Ethan is through the mirror. They don't even know how she did it. It's like the stupid Bianca chick is like, the cable's out when the picture disappears.
Oh my god! Like this chick's been doing some degrees of magic the whole time, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden they're like, "Well, the cable's out. We can't watch." The cable had this guy on, by the way.
Magics, how do those work?
Let's just
No, well, she's like, hey, I know that guy. He's
Yeah.
on TV.
So you think that this fucking guy that she just drugged with Schlitz is now on cable?
Yeah,
On
hey,
the
I know
news
that guy.
channel?
Yeah, he
What
was
the
in
fuck?
your home 48 seconds ago. But so they're watching him, and then Faye Dunaway is like, "Oh, I'm gonna, control this robo tractor thing. I don't know, some tractor with a big clampy thing."
She's a mechnomancer.
It goes out to capture this guy, and it's trying to chase him down, and everybody's just like, "Huh? Look at that tractor." Trying to eat that guy. No one does anything.
Literally nobody does anything.
Because it is doing the up and down, like the buckets opening and closing like Jaws, trying to eat this guy. Yeah. And like you said, everyone's like, "Oh, look at that."
And then what is
Another
it?
runaway.
What is it? Linda's like, oh, it's a runaway tractor.
Lucy.
Lucy, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
Linda
'cause
is
that
Supergirl.
happens? Like tractors just run away and chase
Just
after
another
people?
Well, you know
Runaway,
what? When
dude.
she says runaway tractor, and we all thought, what? But that's just a thing that happens.
Runaway
That's right before.
tractor never coming back. I got some magic and you know it's black.
But that's right before this tractor smashes into this bar full of dudes who are very upset that the tractor just attacked them. They're like, "I love tractors."
Not my John Deere,
So, I mean,
man.
maybe there are a lot of runaway tractors in this
The
town.
guy with the hard hat?
Oh, that hard hat was a yarmulke.
Yes,
the
it
guy
was.
who just refuses to take his hard hat off when he's off of work getting a beer.
How do you know he wants everyone to know he's a hardworking American?
He's right next to the guy with the cowboy hat, and then there's the guy dressed like a Native American, and there's a guy dressed like a cop, and then they started
so
dancing.
it's
And they're like,
YMCA.
So in my headcanon, though, this guy is actually not in construction. He just wants to drink at a construction bar. So every day he like rubs a little dirt on his clothes and goes in. He's like, "Whew, you guys have it tough at the mine today, huh? Yeah, me too. Real rough day. What'd you do? There was a loose flibberty gerbers.
I climbed those poles.
I climbed the poles and tightened the flibberty gerbs. He got caught.
So you get a whole final destination sequence where like the tractor goes towards a gas station. Lucy jumps on it to try to stop it, but she can't because it's magic. And she like just moves her head real hard and knocks herself out. I think it was supposed to be that there was a bump, but it looks
but
like she
leaned
clearly just
right
slipped.
hard. That's it.
And she gets knocked out. So the tractor is rolling towards the gas station. The gas attendant just drops the pump and leaves it going.
Trained professionals.
There's not a big red button you can hit that says stop
Yeah.
switch or anything. That's not how gas
It's actually
stations
harder
work.
to leave it on than it is to not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially dropping it. That thing would have come.
Well,
it doesn't
80s, I
matter.
don't know. We didn't give a shit
They
about
had better
safety in
things.
the 80s. No, they just didn't give a shit.
They didn't have those little things that clicked it. That you held it and it just held.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going guns akimbo with gasoline, dude. They put 2 nozzles in your gas tank if they could. You want to get filled up? Woo!
And of course, some shit catches on fire.
Tires.
Chevy Chase's car gets crushed here.
No, the family truckster, but they did not roll it up. Roll them up.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a whole big Rube Goldberg thing. The gas station, like top of the gas station collapses. This big tire rolls off. It rolls towards traffic. The tractor is turning. We're like, oh, what's the crazy accident that's going to happen?
2 cars hit each other.
And then the wheel stops. The tire stops. And then that's the end.
We do get a glorious man in no shirt, the guy with the hay.
Oh, yeah.
No shirt, cut off shorts, and I swear to God, he's wearing flip-flops.
This will be my summer outfit.
Yes.
As it heats up, I'm getting one of these. Sorry, Tucson, I'm going shirtless.
You're going to die.
Yes,
yeah,
I
you
am.
are.
I'm a little too ginger for
Do
that.
you want me to spray you down?
I'll be shirtless in my house, mind you.
Aren't you already?
No, I'm
shirtless
pantless.
and pantless?
Pantless. I got to wear a top.
Well, he does that too. And I'm like, I sit out here.
It's called
just
Winnie the Pooh.
I sit out here in just my underwear.
Donald Duck. Pick your marmot.
I sit out here in my underwears.
It's like a fighting game. Pick your marmot. Donald Duck.
He's my
Winnie
Pooh bear.
the Pooh. Oh my.
I can't do Winnie the Pooh. I'm no Jim Cummins, man.
Hello, Christopher Robin.
Ooh, you're not bad. You get nice and
He loved Winnie the Pooh. That's why he's my Pooh bear.
And you're his honeypot.
Oh,
That sounds worse than I think it's supposed to.
Yeah, I think I meant to be sweet and cute. And it was like, good God, Jack.
She's here to take all my money. She's the honeypot.
She's setting you up.
Yeah, well, joke's on you. I spent it all on this podcast setup. Let's make $1.
I know, right?
That's the only reason she's on it. She's like, we got to get some of this money back, Pooh Bear.
I'm stripping for you, Pooh Bear.
So there's a fire, and Supergirl flies through the water tower of this town and lets all the water pour on the fire. I'm like, first of all, sure, it puts out the fire. Second of all, the town now has no water. And third, there's a lot of water in that tower, and you're now flooding the streets, and water is going to go into these businesses, and it's going to cause water damage.
You're going to cause erosion.
You know what else? You know what else you could have done? I guarantee you, there was a fucking fire hydrant you could have just pulled the side off of.
Ooh, much better.
Or
have her like just snap the
freeze blow
the valve. Freeze blow the fire.
Yeah, freeze blow it.
Freeze blow it, baby.
Freeze blow the fire.
Hey,
freeze blow the fire hydrant.
That's 2 better options than a water tower.
yes.
And she does like a tornado for some reason. I guess to help put out the fire more. I don't know. She makes wind with her flying.
I think she's sucking the air out, and we all know that flames feed off oxygen. We all know that.
cut to like Bianca and Faye Dunaway watching this, and Bianca's like, "Oh, is that a storm dragon?"
It's common fucking term out of this chick's mouth.
Like,
it's
yes,
a storm dragon.
This is the world of Superman, and you've had aliens fight and destroy cities, and you definitely, I'm pretty sure you had Nuclear Man by this point. No, that's 4. Quest for Peace.
So, no, not yet.
You've had super beings, whatever, but I have never once seen a dragon in this world.
Yeah, let alone a fucking storm dragon.
And sure, they're witches, but I think they were kind of playing at being witches until she got magic spinning ball.
I think they had some power, like lack a better term, power.
Yeah.
Not good.
I mean, there's no Zatanna or anything in this world, so I don't know. It's weird.
Also, I don't think you would know the answer. This chick doesn't exist in the comics, or does she?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it.
If you know, write into badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com and let us know what the answer is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
someone
do.
out there is an expert.
Well, just because like my DC knowledge is limited, and my Supergirl knowledge is even more limited.
Yeah, what I know about Supergirl, I know from the CW show and from that time she died in Crisis on Infinite Earths in the comics.
I know more from the cartoon Young Justice, which actually is pretty fucking good.
I didn't hate...
Do you know what I know?
Nothing.
Fucking nothing. No, I know exactly what Derek knows because I watched Supergirl with him.
And you listen to him talk.
Yeah, I was like, she knows this much less because the only thing I've ever read with Supergirl in it was Crisis on Infinite Earths, where
Which
she dies.
they did a crossover.
And they did a version of it in the CW verse there, the Arrowverse. But
Crossover.
No, I did not read because it was Supergirl. I just didn't read DC.
We know you're sexist. It's fine.
Yeah, you know me.
You were like,
I'm the biggest
opposite.
misogynist ever.
I think you're the most anti-misogynist I know.
I was raised by women, and I'd like to be raised by women again. Email us at
this time with a Z, raised by women. He wants to be burned.
Oh, that's a whole new type of dominant.
So she saves Ethan from she pulls because the tractor did grab him. The tractor did grab him in the little clutches of its mouth.
A little chomp.
And she pulls the mouth part off. I don't know what it's called. It looks like a mouth. The bucket. Okay. She pulls
And
the bucket
flies
off.
it away.
And I guess she did stop the tractor, but she
Your wife
flies
says
away.
so. I didn't see it.
She
You
flew
didn't
away with
see
this
it.
bucket, and this tractor is still rolling.
No,
and
it was
her
barely
quote-unquote
rolling.
best friend is still in it, and it is going into a building.
I know, but because
and
there's
they
a
just cut
blink
away.
right there.
miss it thing, like me and your husband are like, oh shit, she's giving up her only friend for a little piece right now.
She's like, Lucy's cool, but I'm not really into chicks.
yeah.
So
Sorry.
I'm going to save this dude.
You're spunky, he's hunky. And you know what? Luce would understand, by the way, judging by her walls. She's like, go get that piece of hunk.
Go get it.
And just die in a fucking fire.
And what happens right now?
He wakes up and he falls in love with her.
Oh, what?
Because that's the first person he saw, even though he walked through the entire town. I guess he was looking down and his vision was blurry or whatever, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he did a good job. Not a good job. He did an okay job of just hazy eyes looking all around except
Actually,
eye contact.
it was believable.
They do show when
For being
like,
drugged by a magical love potion by a witch, it was very believable.
they do show his viewpoint, which by the way just acts like a really quick acting roofie that comes and
Yeah.
goes like that. Mm-hmm. But they do show from his viewpoint that she's just coming into focus. So I guess he didn't see anybody. Although I don't know how magic works. I've always in all the things I've ever watched or read, it's very literal. So it's like the first person you see, it doesn't mean the first person you focus on.
I imagine.
So the first vague shape he saw that's a human, he would want to fuck it.
Well, I mean, as some, he's over there just making love to a tree that looks like it's a person.
Exactly.
I am Groot. No, I won't stop.
I am Groot.
I am Groot. Okay, I will go lower.
I am Groot.
You guys are just making it up. You don't really know what he's saying.
I am Groot.
So he falls in love with her, and they have a little moment. And
And Jack says this is the only trope that he will get behind.
well, the quick love makes sense because it's a
Yeah.
spell, right?
Yeah, it's not a trope now because
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
There's
a
quick love is
catalyst.
only acceptable if drugs are involved.
Yep.
Because when you wake up, you're over it.
Yep.
Are you?
Usually.
This is the first time I wrote Selena in my notes, by the way. I was like, who the fuck is Selena? Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway has been Selena the whole
By
time.
the way, every time I wrote Faye, and all of a sudden I wrote Selena.
The whole time.
Don't know why. Maybe I forgot her real name. I got so into the movie, she just became Selena.
Faye Dunaway, she's not doing bad in this movie. Like it's
She's
fine. I mean,
getting
she's a
her
good
check.
villain.
yeah, I can't put my finger on why this movie doesn't exactly work. It's not because of her.
It's missing a certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Maybe it's a director.
It's the lack of the
A little
cohesion of the
je
parts.
ne sais quoi.
Oh.
Je ne sais quoi.
That's
yes.
how you pronounce his last name.
C'est quoi?
Je ne sais quoi.
His name is Je ne sais quoi. So she summons the nothing here,
Oh, yeah.
which was a Whitney joke, but she told me to write it, and I knew it was going to get stolen. She summons the nothing to chase down this girl because when she sees Supergirl, she is Linda Lee. She's the
listen.
brown hair version. And so she gets this creature, this shadow monster, and it's definitely because they couldn't afford to have a monster. But the effects of the creature coming at her are pretty cool.
I thought they were amazing.
Yeah, they have like
it's
the
great.
ground
It's
getting
practical.
crushed underneath
Yeah.
it.
It's good.
Except for that one window.
Well, but it's
Well,
still
that's
practical.
practical,
It's
right?
still practical. I mean, just what she's talking about right now is they crush this car with. I mean, we see nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's just
literally
that there
see
is the
nothing.
weight of this monster crushing this car, and the passenger window does not get crushed by the
No.
roof. It goes just.
It
outside
refuses to
enough.
break.
It's because it's like a 1980s Chrysler LeBaron.
Exactly.
So shit didn't line up just right.
Yeah, it crushes like his wood like planks on the floor, and like my favorite part was like the dirt like getting
with the
pulled
wall?
down.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they like
On the
dug
hill.
a tunnel or something.
Yeah.
And then they just had like a thing that went through and like pulled it all down. So the dirt all collapses and then the wall crumbles and all
Oh
the
my
bricks
God,
fall
I
off. It was
loved it.
cool.
So I'm
I was
talking
like,
about
this is
something
the
working.
nothing. Yes.
This is something working.
She jumps out the window and does like, again, no phone booth. She is in her dorm room, dives out of her dorm room window, which is the nightmare of most college administrators, and turns into Supergirl on her way out.
Yeah,
gotta hope
the
no one's
window
watching.
is the
Right?
The
Which,
window
by
is
the
the
way, there's
thing.
an invisible monster walking up. Somebody's watching.
No, they just think it's a tornado.
It's a weird tornado. It just hates that car.
Maybe they are in Kansas.
So she comes out and she's flying around and she's fighting this monster. She's fighting the air. She comes up with an idea to basically take this like lamppost and fly up into the sky where there's a storm and get electrocuted a bunch.
Absorb a lightning.
Oh,
And it absorbs into the light post because that's how electricity works.
well, I do want to rewind a little bit if I can, because it did set up that she's getting smarter when
Yeah.
she's here. Obviously, she's getting powers. But at the school, Nigel has some just ridiculous, like, Goodwill Hunting equation on the board.
That only
if
the
you solve
computer can solve.
And sure as shit, she's like, boom, got the answer.
10,500,927.
Fucking Kara's math quiz. I don't
Yeah.
know. Because at the beginning, she can't understand six-dimensional
R's
geography.
cube, I don't know.
Six-dimensional geography or whatever they say. Geometry, not geography.
Six-dimension
Geography's not
geometry.
math.
Well,
And then she does figure it out, and then Lucy's like, how'd you figure that out? And she's like, I don't know, six-dimensional
This
geometry.
time I can
never
see it in my
understood
brain.
Yeah.
so that's all I wanted to go back for.
Okay, yeah.
Was now maybe that has to do with, like, this nothing beast that I know nothing about is going to be weak to electricity. Let's
Yeah.
grab this old light post.
Yeah, so she gets the light post filled with electro powers, and she goes down and just slaps this dude in the face with it a bunch of
worse
times.
than that. She holds the bar and pushes.
It
Oh yeah, she will not. You
doesn't
will not
let go of
passes you
it.
this thing.
It's like one of those
Yeah.
globes at Spencer's Gifts when you put your hands on the outside. Like, the monster was intrigued. He put his hands on that thing and it shocked him.
Yeah, so she says, "You shall not pass," and she shoots electricity at him. And we get a glimpse of the monster in, like, the nether realm, and it is, as Whitney said, a Power Ranger monster.
Go
It's a big,
Power
but I mean, everything was a Power
Rangers.
Ranger monster in the 80s. I mean,
Absolutely.
the Power Ranger footage is all from 1970s and 80s Japanese TV shows. So it's big rubber monster suits, stop motion. But you only see it for a flash second, and then it's gone, and it runs away with its invisible tail between its invisible legs. Bianca is trying to say, like, who cares about this girl, the Supergirl or the other girl? Like, she's just some girl, whatever.
Also,
just
like,
leave her be.
Stop worrying about this one guy. You can get anyone to fall in love with you now. It
Yeah.
worked.
Obviously, you know how to do the spell, and all Faye Dunaway says is, the girl can fly.
Don't you get it? She says it like it's supposed to mean something
Yeah,
big.
like what?
But no, you're not listening. The girl can fly.
She can.
Yeah, but no. The girl can fly.
So Kara's Fitbit now alerts her that something's going on with the ball, because we didn't mention the ball is being stored in this weird dragon container.
Perfect size vessel for a fucking extra interdimensional orb.
Yeah, and but the vessel keeps growing, presumably from the magic or something. And they don't explain. I don't really care. But she opens it, and the ball is going crazy, and that makes Kara's Fitbit go off, and so it's telling her where the ball is. So she goes to this abandoned carnival where she is met by Ethan? ? Like, I don't know why he showed up at the carnival, because she's following the beep beep, looking for the ball.
No,
and Ethan shows up at the haunted carnival because they end up on the Tilt-A-Whirl.
Oh, that's right. Oh, no.
No, they get zapped there.
No.
She zaps
This
him
is like
out
a
of
date. He shows up with flowers. And
Yeah, no, he
chocolates.
shows up with
Like, he
flowers
can
and he's
just
trying to
find
talk to her.
her?
But she is following
Maybe.
the Fitbit beeper. She's
Yeah.
looking for the magic ball because this is the same carnival where Selena lives.
He's just stalking her.
Yeah, I was like,
but very well.
because nobody noticed, like, nobody commented on it when we were watching the movie, and I didn't even notice it first until I was, like, writing down stuff, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is?
Why are you here?
Yeah, why is Ellis from Die Hard in a carnival with a little girl in high school?
Hey, Supergirl, Bubby, I can be anywhere you want.
I don't know, but he meets her at the abandoned amusement park and tries to, like, he keeps reciting poetry and giving her flowers and shit.
Does a love potion make you smarter and maybe more, like, eloquent?
Well, more well read.
Because he even at one point calls himself like a stupid
An
gardener.
uneducated-
But he's, thank you. Uneducated gardener. He is now spouting off some just fucking, like, what is it? Cyrano kind of
And I
poetry.
couldn't tell you who these poems are from, but I can.
I bet you he couldn't.
I can tell you that these poems are by a poet because the subtitles are all in quotations.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it's not
actually
like
didn't
he's
notice
just
that.
saying something. Like, whenever it's in quotations, it's because they're quoting something else, right? It's just like when you're reading a
Yeah.
paper. Or
No, it makes sense. I just didn't notice it one bit.
Yeah, so, like, these poems are, I mean, and not everything he's saying, because some of the stuff he says is just flowery language, but when he's doing poems, so he just learned poems from a spider in a nut.
I feel like that's definitely something from the 80s. There was a sign of romance is when a man would spout poetry.
Oh, yeah,
too.
this
This is a
dude
thing
is-
from the 80s in the movies.
But this guy is a douchebag at a college, beatnik, turtleneck, beret. Like, this guy is...
Well, this isn't even like that. This isn't even like fucking trendy beat poetry where you're doing a bunch of acid and hanging out with fucking William S. Burroughs.
You're saying he's not even like the acoustic guitar guy at a college campus?
I mean, he might be, but with what you're describing is like the beatniks who are like the fucking Timothy Leary and William S. Burroughs and
that's a whole different type of beatnik. That's
Well, I'm thinking Michael Myers from So You Married an Axe Murderer.
oh yeah.
Whoa, man.
I was like, nobody is getting stabbed by William Shatner mask in this movie. And then I realized you're talking about a different Mike Myers.
Not Michael
Yes.
Myers.
Yes. I'm a dumb. So Selena comes out and confronts them, and she's like, she does some magic twirly twirl stuff and makes the tilt-a-whirl thing go super fast. And I couldn't tell if this was like it went around a couple times and they sped up the footage, or if it was like a miniature, because it looked really fake. It looked really weird.
Yeah.
Not bad per se. I was just really confused about what
It
happened.
looked like sped up.
It looked off.
And I think it was you, Whitney, that pointed out that at some point they were not in there.
No, he pointed out that they were, and I said, there they are.
Well, no, because
but
at first
for a while they weren't.
yeah, the
They
first
weren't.
like 3 or 4 times it went around, there was no people, and then as soon as Jack, you said it,
Yeah.
then as soon as I said that, they changed angles, and then it was like, oh,
Then
there's.
Whitney caught it. She's like, no, they're right there. And it's like, yeah, now they are.
And as it was slowing down, and then she was talking some shit or whatever, it was like I immediately was like, well, Supergirl's not there.
Yeah.
And it comes to a stop, and oh look, it's just Coke Guy.
It's just Ellis.
Just me, Bubby.
So Supergirl comes out, and this is when Faye Dunaway says, "I'm the succubus of such and such. I am the Siren of Endor."
The what? Hold on. Go back. The what?
The succubus of such and such.
The Siren of Endor.
Yeah, no, is that canon? I think you said that,
It's
right?
got to be canon now, right? Fucking Faye Dunaway leading Ewoks,
She's leading them to their death with her beautiful siren song.
playing indoor field hockey. It's still outdoors.
Oh, is that sport they were playing in Starship Troopers? Was it indoor football?
Yes, indoor football.
Isn't that arena football?
No. If it's on indoor, it's
Oh,
indoor.
it's indoor. Never mind.
That joke works better on paper.
Yeah,
it does.
We're just a bunch of idiots.
We are the worst people.
Supergirl tries to get Ethan, and Faye Dunaway teleports him into the bumper car thing, and he's like dodging all these bumper cars that have these grotesque-looking football dudes on them.
Yeah.
Very, very angry.
Which I also found, by the way, this is only sports ball people might notice this, but like the front half of the bumper car he's in is it's two football players in full gear, and it happens to be the Rams. At the time, I don't know what city. That might be L.A. They change so often. But on the back is 2 football players full gear. That is the New England Patriots. Like every football car, every bumper car had 2 teams.
I did
on
notice
it.
that because my
Sports
first
people aren't going to do that. Nobody from New England is going to sit in a car that has a Rams player on it. No fucking way.
I think that's why they painted 2 on each one, so that way people couldn't be like, well, I have to have that one because that's my team. They'd
Yeah,
be
but
like,
now
who
you're gonna have a
cares?
bunch of you have a line full of fucking jabronis that refuse to get into a car.
This way, somebody's trying to hit you from the front who hates that team, and somebody else is trying to come at you from the back who hates that team.
Oh, that actually works better.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the people that won't ride, but these are the people like I fucking hate that team and that team.
I noticed that right away, but at first I only noticed the one because there was the one that almost ran him over, and it was the Bengals, and I was like, "This is Illinois. You're 2 states away. Like,
Yeah.
why do these bumper cars have the Bengals on them?" And then it was like, "Oh, they're all different teams." Okay,
but it's still a weird choice.
yeah, it's still
It should all be the Bears. What bumper car you want? The Bears?
The burst.
Oh man, I bet you there
We have
wasn't
2
one
kinds.
Bears one.
We have the Bears and the Bulls.
Somebody
Which
stole
one do
the
you
Bears
want?
one.
So, yeah. Oh, that's why they had to paint them. Every time we paint the Bears, it gets stolen. Have we tried the Patriots? Have we tried the Bills? Have we tried the
The
Cardinals?
Bengals?
I mean,
the Bengals.
You're close enough to Wisconsin that someone from there would definitely steal the Green Bay one.
the Packers.
I didn't see a Packers on there.
So Kara makes like a jail cell. She finds like some loose metal
Rhubarb.
pipes, which seems like
Not rhubarb.
not rhubarb,
Oh.
rebar,
Not rhubarb.
Rebar.
rebar, not rhubarb.
So she has
ma-
celery on the outside
so
of
she
her.
makes a pie, and she traps Faye Dunaway in the pie.
Oh no, I'm allergic to rhubarb.
She throws these pipes and like super fast motion, and they land all around Faye Dunaway, and I guess it's a cage.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like you could just push it because the dirt would.
They wobble in the dirt when they land. I'm like,
Yeah.
Without any magical powers, I will force that over.
And even when she's getting out and Bianca's like, do you want me to get you like a crowbar or something? She just makes it bend because they're like clearly like
Rubber.
Inflatable like
She
plastic
does some
like rubber
magic
tubes or
mumbo
something.
jumbo wumbo shit.
Yeah.
They're all bendy now.
And they fall over like deflated fucking
Wilted flowers.
boners. They go limp. Say.
I was thinking like the inner tubes for a bike tire, but yeah.
Oh, that's where I was going to. Yeah.
Yeah,
What did I say?
said rubber.
Speaking of the Patriots, they fall down like deflated footballs. All right. I don't even know sports. I know
You
that.
know that though? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey, I've watched
This
South
is
Park.
insane.
Bill Belichick.
Next fucking week, he's going to talk about like the catch, the miracle.
I don't know that one.
Oh, you will by next week.
I do know the Miracle, but that's the Miracle on Ice.
The musical?
No, the Kurt Russell movie.
Oh, I know. I knew what you
I
meant.
know it's a real story, but the Kurt Russell movie.
The Kurt Russell story.
Miracle, the Kurt Russell story.
Any movie
Did he
that
read
he's in from now on should be the Kurt Russell story. Big Trouble in Little China, the Kurt Russell story.
Did he read the script?
What is this? It's hockey, sir. You're the coach. Is he the coach?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I thought so. All
Good
right.
sporting, Derek.
I saw it one time.
It's actually a good movie.
It is a great movie.
I remember thinking it was a good movie. I was in like elementary school.
It's good American propaganda. Like, it doesn't make you feel icky at the
I
end.
feel like I was in high school when I watched
Oh,
it.
so it's not Pain and Gain? Okay.
That's not patriotism. That's Marky Markism.
Everybody who isn't a soldier or a cop is a piece of shit.
That's a funky bunch of shit.
So anyways, Kara, pulls Ethan out of, or takes
Kara.
the entire bumper car with her, flies through the ceiling of this fucking thing.
Multiple
and
Knocks him out.
He immediately gets knocked out. Dude, this guy, so he shows up, he talks for about 5 seconds, he drinks a magic drink and passes out. Wakes up wobbly, walks around, gets picked up by an evil tractor, gets knocked out.
Just came out of your mouth so naturally.
Gets taken, or then he comes to this place, gets knocked out when he gets saved. They land on this beach
I would
somewhere.
like to say it's the end of his head wounds, right?
No, they meet on this beach after she knocks him out with the roof of a ceiling of a building. They meet on this beach and he's like, what happened? And a fucking coconut comes out of goddamn nowhere.
We're talking
and I mean,
about
it's
the whole part
explained.
of the coconut.
Yeah, the green.
the husk, like everything comes from space.
And it just hits this dude in the fucking head. He's asking like, "Where's Linda?" Because obviously he doesn't know Supergirl is Linda. Different
they
color
look so
hair,
different.
yeah, you can't
But
tell
they
the
do,
difference.
actually.
I mean, they do
She's
look
not wearing
pretty
glasses.
different. Yeah, she's.
There's your plot. There's my plot hole.
You know what
she's not wearing glasses.
Different colored hair.
You know
and
what I
different
will
outfit.
say though? I saw a picture recently that someone did online where
Was
it
it the
was
Zoe Deschanel?
Zoe Deschanel with bangs and glasses and without bangs and without glasses, and they were like, anybody who doesn't think that glasses could make Clark Kent not be known
I sent
by
that
people.
meme to multiple people. It's
I was
after
like,
seeing Zoe
oh.
Deschanel without bangs and glasses, I now believe that people would
Yeah.
not know Clark Kent was Superman. Like, it's,
Yeah.
it's true. Like, that's a whole different person.
It really, but she's still hot.
Faye Dunaway is maybe trying to do like a teleportation spell or something. I don't remember, and she can't get it done. And she's like, I can throw a coconut with pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, because she's done like the shadow power, bring him to me. And he
Yeah.
just- we hear this movie's sound is amazing, but we hear her magic have like erectile dysfunction. It's just like wow, 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 wow. And you hear the deflated ego of this spell.
And that's when also like Nigel now shows up again, and he's like, so you just want to save this guy because of like whatever, not
You want
because
me
you
back,
want, not
right?
because you want to fuck him.
You want to bring that girl here.
Yeah, she's like, no, I don't want to fuck him, and he's like, oh, that's weird, and then cracks open the spider nut, which is also a sentence I've now said, and the spider comes crawling out, and he's like, you think I didn't know? And I'm like, why were you cracking random people's walnuts? Did you ask? There was only one walnut left, and you took it?
And she told you not to.
It's rude.
She was saving that walnut.
And then what is it? Ellis immediately like snaps awake, and he's like not in love, but what?
Oh,
Now
I do
I'm about
love
to be
her.
upset. Now I'm upset.
Where's
it.
Linda?
The
I
potion
love
has
her.
worn off, and he's like, I love her. And he like kind of looks to the sky like questioning. He's like, I do love her. Wow, yeah, where is that fucking chick? I love her.
I actually technically haven't even met her.
She's fine. You don't
This
need to
is
go save
worse
her.
than quick love. I technically don't know this person.
Except
love
now I
her.
don't know poetry, and I kind of want to just, knock her up and move to a trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get her pregnant and then like not talk to her anymore.
Yeah, let's do it.
He keeps asking where she's at, and she's like, Kara is like, she's fine. I promise you, she can take care of herself. He's like, no, she needs me. And she's like, no, she really fucking
Hey,
doesn't.
bro, that is nothing more than just like a fit gardener. Calm down.
And then like she shows how powerful she is, and he's like, well, like, you can stop me. I'm like, bitch, please.
Yeah, no, he's at one point he's like, don't make me rough you up. And she's
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't stand a
Good
chance.
luck.
And then she kisses him, and he goes, Linda?
This time the kiss, by the way, all this we didn't talk about it. The first kiss, she just stands there with her mouth open while he like licks her mouth like some sort of weird dog.
He doesn't say Linda here because he kind of reveals, quote unquote, at the end that he knows who she is.
No, I think your
he
wife is
says
right.
Linda.
I think this is
okay.
his
Well,
moment.
that scene at the end makes even less sense then.
Yeah. Well, I think it's to let it's
Because
like,
he's talking
To
to
let Kara know
Supergirl.
that she remembers, and or he remembers.
Because that was after the spell. Of course he remembers. Like he was.
Well, but he got respelled.
He did.
No, that's right. He
respelled. Let's
gets
get there.
Fancy Boy Prince spelled.
He gets
Fancy boy,
So-
5-year-old.
so he
Prince.
does
so
disappear.
fluid coming out of your mouth.
He does disappear at this point, and he reappears right after the kiss, and he reappears in Selena's bed in
Shackles.
bondage gear. I mean, it's
Ow!
just shackles, but
Oh, just shackles. Some good knot work.
suddenly this magical mountain appears in this little fucking Illinois town. And at first, no one even reacts to it, and then it's like, and then someone's like, "Hey, wow, where'd that come from?"
I don't know if it was Lucy or Jimmy because the other one's
what is
talking.
that?
What is that? And it's like, what do you mean? He's like, looks like a mountain. Well, yep, that's a mountain. How did it get here? Like, this is the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
And then like there's a little bit of time that passes, I guess, because they do like the Phantom Zone Zod thing to Supergirl. They have her in like a glass cell.
Before we get there, though, because your wife and I laughed really hard at this. Kara or Kara?
Kara.
Supergirl. That's easier. Supergirl sees another form of bondage for Evan, right?
Yeah.
Where he's on the fireplace and she like runs up to him and just face smashes
Yes.
a piece of plexiglass.
Oh yeah, because
Like,
she's
nice
inside the
and
thing
hard.
already. Yeah.
Like it was.
She did a lot of her own stunts, and
I'm pretty sure she did all of them. Like yeah. Oh yeah. Golf clap.
golf clap.
But the whole smashing of the face, love.
Loved it.
And they launch her into space after she broke her own nose.
And now the town is in the know.
Yeah.
They are full informed.
She ends up getting sent to the Phantom Zone, and then like the next time we see this town, they're having like a protest against Selena, and I'm like, okay, well, to us it's been about 20 minutes of the movie. I'm like, I guess it's been a long time, because when she goes to the Phantom Zone, she runs into our favorite man, Peter O'Toole, again.
Don't forget. Don't skate over the Artak moment.
I'm not. We're getting there.
Oh no, yeah. Well, this town is basically you ask them to wear masks because they are up in arms and protesting.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I was gonna say. Peter O'Toole mentions, I've been here forever, and I've been here like for my entire life, and I'll be here forever, or something like that.
Yeah,
so the Phantom
you're
Zone
close.
time passes differently.
And he did say this is way back at the beginning of the movie when they say like, "Oh, you lost the yada yada." Fucking Omicron
smorgasbord.
CIA. You lost the charcuterie board, and he like you know what happens. Like, oh, I know. I'll be in the Phantom Zone. Like he knows this is his destiny, and
My neighbors are killers.
and he
I want to say he's known the whole time, and that's why he hasn't pinpointed, and that's why he knew to
strangely
give her.
offers this lady a squirt.
Yes. Well, real quick, I do want to touch what she was talking about. While Supergirl's trying to figure out where she is, she falls in the swamp of sadness.
Oh, that's
Or is
Yes.
it Swamp of Sorrows or Swamp of Sadness?
Sadness.
From fucking Neverending Story. Or no, Legend?
The
Yes.
never-ending story.
Is it Neverending
It
Story?
is. Yeah, this is the second.
Tom Cruise has a
reference.
horse also, but I think it's a unicorn.
That's in Legend. and
Yeah,
it's
that's
not-
why I
this
was-
This is Atrax.
Artak.
Artak.
Yeah, so the horse falls in the swamp and dies, and that's exactly what this looks like. It's
The
like
eternal
this
bog of
green.
sadness or some shit.
Yeah, there you go. I wrote Swamp
The
of
eternal
Sadness because I
bog of
couldn't remember.
The bog of eternal stench is from the labyrinth.
God damn my
Same
fancy
fucking
brain.
thing.
Yeah.
The,
Either way,
the never-ending labyrinth
trauma.
of dark crystals.
This is turning into a never-ending podcast.
So this is when he pulls her out and he squirts in her mouth.
Yeah, he's got this spray bottle that he's just carrying around. He's like, "Would you like a squirt?" And he's like drinking out of it.
Doesn't
and
say what it is.
No, and she's like, "No, I'm good," because it's also a green goopy liquid. So I'm assuming he took the swamp of sadness liquid and figured out a way to ferment it. Because he got there and he's like, "There's no booze here."
Space Jankum.
Space
This
Jankum.
guy made Space Jankum.
He took the Swamp of Sadness, he put it into a paper bag, rolled it up, and just let it sit in the
By
heat
the
for
way,
a
if
little
you're
while.
listening, you don't know what Jankum is, just Google that. Just Google Jankum.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need to open an incognito tab. You're fine.
So I thought,
You won't get arrested for it. The people will judge you.
yeah, you should hide it. But at this point, when we reintroduce Peter O'Toole, I thought maybe his brain was a little fried the way he was talking. Like he just kept saying "squirt."
Yeah.
Squirt.
Hey, do you
She
want to
said
squirt this?
something, and he's like, "Squirt." It's like, well,
Dude,
no,
she
I'm
was
trying to ask
literally
you,
going like, yeah, she was
He's
like,
just
we
drunk.
need to go back and say, and she's giving like a dramatic speech, and he's like, little squirt.
I thought that it's like maybe this squirt that you're offering rots the brain.
Maybe.
But I mean, I think he's just fucking hammered drunk. Also, Peter O'Toole
Peter
is
O'Toole.
definitely hammered drunk during this scene
It's hard to tell where the character ends and the actor begins.
because the whole time he's sitting down and he's playing a pretty good drunk.
Yep.
But
Surprisingly.
he
I don't
shows
think he's
her.
acting.
He shows her this horse that he has made. And I'm just like, again, they're throwing in a horse, and Christopher Reeves is not in this fucking movie.
Well, he hasn't horsed yet.
Yeah,
This
but
is
going my. He's
Are you trying to
predicting
say? Are
everything
you trying to say that Peter O'Toole is some sort of madman magician that
and
caused
predicted everything? Yes.
Chris Reeves did? Oh, I thought he was going to cause it.
No, he predicted it.
Oh, thank God.
So he's helping her. She's like, we need to get out of here. There's no, and he just keeps telling her, there's no way out of the Phantom Zone. There's no way out of the Phantom Zone. She's like, if there's a way in, there's a way out. Because I think he said that to her at the beginning when she was like, but we can't leave Magic Happy
Oh,
Town.
I missed that, but okay.
Or something along those lines.
I feel
like
So
it
she's like,
did
if there's no
happen.
way in, there's no way out. Or there is a way out. You know what I mean. The other way around. Scratch that. Reverse it.
All right, Wonka.
And all of a sudden he goes, you know what? Maybe there is a way out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's hold on. There was a mishearing and it was wonderful. He tells her to fight her fears and get into the men's room. But it's get into the maelstrom. But he's mush-mouthed and drunk and British. And it sounds like he screams, fight your fears in the men's room.
I'm
or
going to
something
tell
like
all
that.
you ladies, don't fight those fears. Do not go to the men's room. You do not want to see.
You should be afraid of the men's
lack
room.
of aim that men have at bars.
I've
You know what?
definitely peed in a urinal before.
I've cleaned bathrooms at many different jobs. The men's room, generally speaking, unless you're at maybe a bar, is not that much worse than the women's room.
Yeah.
No, at a bar,
Women
it's
are
worse.
fucking disgusting.
I've cleaned a lot of bar bathrooms.
No, like liquor bar.
Yeah, no,
Not-
but I'm saying in general, like
piss everywhere.
movie theaters, grocery store, the grocery stores, where women's bathrooms are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, they really
it's not
are.
that much better in the men's room.
It's pretty.
There's a little bit
gross.
of pee on the floor in the men's room. There's
like
much
blood.
worse things on the floor.
Gross.
dirty diapers.
He was just going to say much worse.
yeah,
He spelled
no,
it
I'm
out.
giving it to you.
Don't.
But yeah, so they're gonna escape that. But before we get there, we'll touch back on. So there's the protesters. There's like Queen Selena and like Prince Ethan or whatever.
Ethan.
I almost said Prince Eric. That's
He's
a different
like
movie.
a fucking 5-year-old, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he's walking around
hit him
acting
with
like he's
something.
coloring.
Yeah, like he's acting like a child. He's at the brain. He's acting like her at the beginning of this
He's
movie.
acting like Rupert from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Why is there a fork on the cork?
Why is there a cork on the fork?
I said it the wrong way. Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
Excuse me, may I go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love that.
Yes.
There is a moment. There's a line I wrote down. I just have to mention it because it was great. She's trying to do something to make the magic ball thing happy or something, and the line that she yells is, "What the box wants, the box gets."
Yes. Yes.
And immediately all of
100%.
us were like, "Does the box want the squirt?" I don't understand.
Oh, I heard about there's a squirt happening on the other set. Can my box go there?
So they're trying to. So yeah, that's going on. The town is protesting her, but they can't do shit. That's really kind of all that's happening there. She's trying to get out of this place. It's the Maelstrom, and it's basically like a cliff with like a fire tornado in the middle.
I do have to rewind real quick to my favorite part of this movie. When she first hits the Phantom Zone and she doesn't know she lost her powers. She goes to take off and like take flight. And this actress just jumps up and falls flat on her face on the rocks. And man, oh man, I hope this is a GIF. If it's not, please, let's make this happen.
Yeah,
make it
it's
happen.
pretty great. It's a great, just like she's like, all right, let's do this. Plump.
But it's like the Shaun of the Dead, like the whole shortcut thing. You know, when he hits the fence, it just
You've
falls
never taken
over.
a shortcut? Oh, I'm thinking of Hot Fuzz.
Well, but it's because
same joke, but when you never take a shortcut,
Hot Fuzz, he leaps over the fences, nimbly bimbly style.
Yeah, but then Nick Frost just.
Anyway, those are good movies.
So like, I wasn't sure these fireballs that are coming at them when they're trying to climb out of the maelstrom.
That's
Selena,
because she's like trying to cast a spell and she's doing that, and then the fireballs start. But then they go back to her, and she's like annoyed that her spell isn't working. So I'm like, is that not her?
Because it's not hitting them.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna make it that they had to do like a Rock or Judge Dredd situation. Like, all right, the fireballs are happening every 3 seconds if we time this out. The plans are up here for the Phantom Universe.
I just wrote down that she was sending magic Hadoukens.
Yeah, she was.
So I don't know. There's
This
just
is
these
two really bad players playing Street Fighter, just spamming Hadoukens where they just hit each other. Hadouken, Hadouken, Hadouken.
But then she sends the Demon Storm.
Which is a sentence that is normalized in this movie.
She says something
In
about
this
the
living
demon
room.
storm, but I don't know what really is changes. I guess the wind is harder.
The tornado. There's another tornado coming. It's not just that one vortex.
Oh,
There's
I
a
thought
whole
it just
another
made
one.
the main tornado go after Peter
No,
O'Toole now.
it
Okay.
showed a second one coming at them.
But he almost falls, and then he goes back up and he helps Kara, and she's like, "You have to come with me." And he goes, "I am with you." And he pushes her up by grabbing her butt because it's the 80s. And he's like, "It's my last chance."
I mean, he's too drunk to get a boner anyway.
And then he goes, "I am with you," and then
And
just
leaps
Gruber's right off the fucking side. I don't know why he leapt. Like the tornado could have taken him.
You know why?
I think it was supposed to be the
Classically
tornado took him.
trained actor.
Did you say tomato?
I said tornado.
Okay.
Guy's got tomato in the brain.
Yes.
I heard the tomato took him, and I was like, "Whoa, that's fucked up, man." But yeah, so he falls off, and it's like the spiraling thing. This is what Officer Down, Doctor Strange, and now this. Like the last month, it's been people having weird spiral things.
We've had a weird spinning verse.
It must have been a thing in the 80s, man.
Well, it's a cheaper effect.
Officer
I would
Down
say
is from
cheap.
2017,
And also, Officer Down is not old. But it's a very cheap effect, especially for Officer Down.
I did not watch
era.
Officer Down with you
That's
guys.
it.
You're lucky.
Yeah, you're welcome.
and he falls, by the way, for so long. Like they have him getting
Yes.
smaller and smaller, where they just shrink the person, to make it look like they're getting further away, and they just keep on this shot. And I'm like, this movie could have been 2 hours instead of 2 hours and 4 minutes if we would have just cut this. Like he is just.
Speaking of shrinking, though, are we about to hear where she gets out of the?
Almost.
He's still falling. What's happening on there? Can I get you your order? Rise and shake.
Yeah, she does. She breaks out of the mirror, and then we get to the thing. Well, first, real quick, it's her friends are her 3 friends and
that's right, in
Nigel
ball cages.
are in like little ball cages hanging from the ceiling, and she's like, "Your friends will get the point," and you're like, "What?" And then all of a sudden, these sharp things come out of the ground, and you're like, "Oh, okay." Well,
So you're
maybe
making puns for yourself because nobody else saw that.
Those should have
Cool.
been there first. And
she stole Nigel's beef jerky stick, by the way.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason she wanted him over was so that he would use this wand of it says a name.
Oh yeah, it's like
Has
a
the
weird,
most evil in the
That's
world.
how they end up summoning or doing taking things over, or whatever. Because it's like this weird totem. It's like
It's a penis with feathers
what's the?
and chicken.
It's like a
bones.
voodoo totem.
Yeah.
It's like there's feathers and there's stuff wrapped around it and
bones
there's
hanging
whatever.
off.
And then she's also got the magic techno ball. And they're both holding them up towards the camera.
Yeah.
It's like their magic moment
So
when they
between his beef jerky stick and her electro butt plug, they just amplify each other.
Yes.
So we skipped over because I barely remembered it.
Yeah, I forgot it happened.
Absolutely.
So you said that.
But she's now more powerful because she has the beef jerky stick and the electro bulb.
Yeah.
I mean, beef jerky makes me powerful, gassy. So she uses her ice breath to break these little spikes, and then so Selena's like, oh, okay, well then I'll just let all your friends go.
Yeah, I don't think that worked out for her.
Did she wonder? Did she not know that those were gone?
I think it was bad editing.
Yeah.
Because I think the idea was supposed to be she's freezing the spikes and they're gonna break, and Selena's like, "Oh shit, it's the last second," and tries to let them go so
That
they'll
would
get
make more
stabbed.
sense.
That
But it
absolutely
doesn't
makes
happen
more
in that
sense.
order. But and in my logical brain mind, that's
It
what
looks like
happens.
Selena just let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she does summon the shadow monster thing again, and it's mostly wind at first, but then we see it a little better, slightly better than the dildo monster from Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But it's still
not-
in a
not the
haze kind of.
Cumberbatch.
It is like a cool big like animatronic puppet thing, or maybe it's a rubber suit that they just projected. Whatever it
I think
is,
it's a guy in a suit.
I think it looks cool, but I like stupid shit, so don't pay attention to me. This is
Don't
that
go off
effect
that
you were
wreck.
talking about though. The shrinking thing happens first, right? Or does the stretchy thing happen first?
The stretchy thing happens first.
So this is that
have
what you were
an
talking about at the
image of
beginning.
her superimposed in what I'm assuming is an actor's hands in like a suit.
I think they're still part of like they're either the suit or it's an animatronic because like the hands just keep moving the same way over and over.
And this
And
image
they're not pulling,
couldn't
by the way.
be
Worse.
Couldn't be worse. Thank you.
No.
I'm like trying to find a different word than worse.
No, it's
but it
terrible.
could not be worse. It is. It takes you out of any sort of effect. If I'm in the theater at 84, I'm not impressed. I'm not happy.
Do you know what looks better than this? Tammy riding the T-Rex in Tammy and the T-Rex.
Well, because
and that
that's
was
like Ray Harryhausen shit. and
no.
that's
That
great.
remember when she's actually riding it. You weren't on the show at that point, but we did watch it at your house. But we were also very drunk.
I've never.
She's
You don't
riding it in the
drink.
distance, and it's like this really bad
Squirt.
superimposed thing. Anyway, it was one of the worst effects I've seen on the show so far until this stretchy thing.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
it's a bad effect. It's worse than the end of Spawn.
And that should just be our gauge.
That's the case.
Is it better or worse than the ending of Spawn?
It's worse than the end of Spawn.
Which, by the way, I don't know. Coming attraction.
Yeah, Coming Attraction,
That's
man.
gonna. That's.
Don't change that.
I
dial.
like that movie, and I hate it so much.
I love a lot of parts of it.
I have a nostalgia for that movie because as a kid, you can watch things, and then when the bad things happen, the stupid things happen, you just forget they happened, and you go, "I remember the cool parts."
It's also got Johnny Legs.
Yeah, as a demon.
Love Johnny Legs as a violator.
Yeah, and it's got stop motion in some parts.
That's a better
It's
movie.
not all CG.
Let's get back to this trash.
I don't know if it's a better movie.
It's better than this. It's
So-
more entertaining.
She's getting stretched, and it's straight up softcore porn stuff here. Because so Faye Dunaway is doing like the stretching thing with her hands, which is the only reason we know she's being stretched. Because this effect
Correct.
just makes her look weird and warped, but you
because
can't
of
really
Faye
see
Dunaway-
she's
Faye
being
Dunaway's
stretched.
handwork.
Yeah. So, but while she's like, they have like the shot of Supergirl laying there, and she's just like,
Oh, no.
That's the extra hour footage.
And then
it's just
you
an hour
hear
of that.
you hear Peter O'Toole going, "You can do it."
Oh, you mean Obi-Wan Zoltar?
Yeah, because she's like, "I can't."
He's just use the force, Luke. Use it.
Use the hope, Kara.
Is it not the booze you're looking for?
Oh, you're right, because my next note is Supergirl Tiny Tornado.
Now, Tiny Tornado, for whatever fucking reason, she just spins around this demon and is smaller than she's ever been in the entire movie.
Well, she spins around Faye Dunaway
Faye.
because
She
she
gotta take away-
escapes.
she
She
needs
escapes
that
from the
voodoo
demon.
jerky.
Yeah, and she flies at her, and you're thinking, okay, she's it's the spinning around her thing. Cool, I'm fine with it.
We've seen it.
Why does she Ant-Man down? Mm-hmm. Or I guess this is DC,
Inner
so
space
the
down.
Atom.
Inner space down.
So the Atom's down and turns into a little tiny thing, which I don't think was the intended effect. I think she's supposed to be flying around, but they couldn't get it to look good.
We saw it. It was small.
Yeah, they made her itty bitty, and she does this spiral thing around Faye Dunaway, who just gets lifted up like an angel into the heavens. And
Well,
then
no,
disappears.
she gets put into the shadow monster's face.
Yeah, but at first she's getting lifted up into the heavens. It's
yeah.
like a white spinning tornado cloud, and it looks like she's going
And
to
then
heaven.
they
And
take
I'm like, that's your
Bianca.
reward.
Like Bianca didn't
Oh,
need to
Bianca
go.
was like, "Hey,
Sad.
so I'm gonna go because this is fucking stupid."
Yeah.
And then Faye Dunaway like sticks her to the wall, and she's like, "What I meant to say was I'm gonna stay."
I feel like Bianca's just like bound to her now.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably.
As soon
It's
as
her
she's-
familiar.
Yeah.
Well, they're setting up the sequel, right? I mean, you got Faye Dunaway, but also Bianca in case Faye Dunaway won't come back.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
You're padding your roster there.
Yeah, exactly. Bianca will be turned evil by being in the Phantom Zone and drinking Squirt.
Faye Dunaway's about to film. It was 84. She's about to film Barfly with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's a
good
good
looking
one.
Mickey
One,
Rourke,
one
too.
for my friends.
Ooh,
Before
I don't-
boxing,
well,
right?
He's not good looking. He's playing Charles Bukowski.
I don't know who that is.
Very drunk writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he has a collection.
But this is
of
before
just-
his boxing career, right?
Charles Bukowski has like a collection of just drunk poems called "Love Is a Dog from Hell." It's amazing. You get to glimpse into like a madman's brain.
Okay.
Yeah, she does the tornado thing, and she shoots Faye Dunaway back into the mirror, and then the mirror reverse breaks. And you see Kara's reflection. And at first, I was like, "Oh, did she have to like sacrifice herself into the Phantom Zone to get them in there?" Because she's flying around them and drags them in there. So I was like, "Oh, she's there." But then
This
it's
movie
just her
has no
reflection.
stakes.
No. I mean, what superhero movie does?
None. You're
We're
right.
at my favorite part.
Spawn.
The ending?
Yes.
Yeah. So Ethan does again, like Kara is like, oh, well, Linda had to leave, because there was an emergency, and he's like, I know. Very Han Solo of him.
Because this audience must be dumb. So
Yep.
we don't remember that he already knows that it's Linda.
And that's why I didn't hear that line, so I was like, I guess he just is like, I figured it out. I'm not that dumb.
It's in the kiss.
No, it was in the kiss.
It's always a kiss.
You can always
It was
tell.
only
He's
the
like,
kiss.
I'll
Was that what it was? It was only
Yeah.
a
It's only a
kiss.
kiss.
It's from the Killers. Which Eric Roberts is in the video of that song.
That's awesome. Eric
And
Roberts is
he plays a
also
creep.
in Best of the Best and Best of the
When
Best
we're
2.
done here, I'm going to show you a video that's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Is it Stalked by My Doctor?
Is that Jason Statham in a bikini dancing?
No, I need to see this
No,
now.
it's Eric Roberts trying to marry a 19-year-old against her will.
Oh, God.
Or we could watch Stalked by My Doctor 2 or 3.
Oh, these Lifetime movies?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
But so the mountain disappears. Everybody's happy. There's happy music playing as she flies away. But the dumbest, we're like, yay, the movie's over. And then she's like, well, we know she's got to take the magic ball back to Argo City. So she flies into the lake, which makes sense because it's like, okay, she's going to go back into the pod and then use the pod to go back to
No,
inner
the
space.
city's here.
No, because she had the ball with her, then she was able to just not have to be in the binary track zone and go all the way through.
Well,
She
the
has
binary-
the
the
power.
You are
binary-
making no sense.
The
right
binary track mark was how she got there because they said she couldn't leave. And they
But
had
she's
the magic
wearing
ball.
the suit, so she's fine.
Binary catapult? Parachute.
now. Parachute.
Binary parachute.
But she's wearing it now, so she's able to.
It doesn't make sense. This
quantum down.
Fucking city
Ooh.
should not be in the bottom of the
Oh,
lake.
here we go.
Go on. Explain this, please.
So when she does the vortex thing and like shrinks down like the atom, she's able to shrink down to the inner space.
But then
to
she's
go back-
normal size kissing fucking Bubby.
Yeah, because she has control now.
Oh, so now she's just super Atom Girl.
Yes,
Atom
I
Girl.
hate this.
I know. So do I. But my brain made it work. So guess what? The building lights up, and that's the end of the movie.
Thank fucking Christ.
I'm not clapping for this movie. I'm clapping for the end.
Yeah, and now it's on my HBO Max watch history, so that's neat. All right, round the horn. We'll start with you, Whiff.
No, that
right.
is a hard
Dude,
no. For
I don't
me.
recommend you watch this, but if you have to put it on, fast forward to like, what is it, an hour when she tries to do the flying leap and falls face first?
It's gonna be like a solid hour 40.
Hour 4, whatever that is, find that and watch it for an hour. That's all you
14
need.
minutes in, so you can see the cardboard cutout because that was
I
awesome.
mean, you can look
Cardboard
that up.
cutout's
You
fun.
can look that up online. I want to see this chick fall face first for like an hour straight. Anyway, no, do not watch this.
Yes. Also, no.
It's not bad enough. It's not good enough.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's not good. It's not as boring as Doctor Strange, but it's not
You're right.
as good
That's
as
setting a low bar,
anything
sir.
else.
Yeah.
Like, well, Doctor Strange, the only thing more boring than Doctor Strange is like going to the doctor's office and finding out that there was an emergency and he'll be back in 2 hours.
Does it happen?
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you just sit in a doctor's office for 2 hours, you have nothing to do.
Yeah.
You can read
Fully
11-year-old magazines. You can read all the highlights for kids that you already read
What
when
was
you
it,
were
Ranger
6.
Rick?
But yeah, no, this movie's stupid. There's a reason this guy only directed TV after this. And he did a fine job, it seems. But directing TV is a little less than directing a movie. It's a different kind of job.
This is directed like a miniseries.
Yeah. I was about to say that might have been better as a miniseries, but then I realized that means it would be 3 hours long, so no.
Yeah, I'm happy with this.
So next week is going to continue the Superhero Spectacular, and we will be doing... I was planning on doing X-Men Dark Phoenix, but Jack and I were talking at work the other day, and we might do X-Men Apocalypse.
It's worse, and that I know of, it's worse.
Because I've never seen Dark Phoenix. I did see Apocalypse, but I slept through it. I remember not liking it, and I woke up, and we had rented it from Red Rocks, and Whitney was like...
Wait, Red Rocks?
Red
Like
Rocks.
Colorado?
Yeah. We rented it from Red Rocks. We rented it from Red Box. And Whitney was like, oh, hey, do you want to keep it for an extra night so you can watch it again? And I was like,
Nope.
no.
Good
No,
here,
I
fam.
saw
Good
it.
here.
If Oscar Isaac is bad in a movie, I don't want to watch it.
It's a bad movie.
Because Oscar Isaac is a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
So it'll be one of those X-Men movies next week. And then the next week after that will be The Phantom, which I'm very excited for.
Get ready,
because
Zaniacs.
I loved this movie when I was a kid, and it's probably stupid, and I don't remember because it's
You know
been
what?
ages.
It's a stupid movie. I'm here to spoil it. It's a stupid movie, but it has Billy Zane in purple spandex.
Riding
Yeah.
a white horse.
in the jungle.
So, sign me up.
Sure. Also, I don't think I told you, wife. Jack and I discovered that there was a television miniseries
I did know this.
of the Phantom.
Wait, you knew this? You didn't tell us?
Yeah.
This
I didn't
aggression
know.
cannot
I was looking to
stand,
see if I
man.
could find the Phantom
You
on
didn't know?
Blu-ray.
We didn't
I didn't know at all. I was trying to find the Phantom on Blu-ray, and this came up on Amazon, and I was like, that's like a weird techno Phantom.
Yeah.
And it's like an updated thing. It's like 3 hours long, so it's a miniseries, so it would definitely not be a one-part thing. Sorry, listeners. I'm not doing that. But
I don't think my butt could handle that.
But yeah.
No.
So
That's a
anyways,
weird
we're doing that.
Mine's gone numb over the years.
It's numb right now.
I couldn't feel a finger in
Numb.
there.
So remember, guys, rate, review, like us, tell your friends about us, share
I actually
our posts.
don't care if you like us, just rate and review
Well, I mean,
us.
like on social media.
Oh, thank
Don't like
God.
me personally. Like, help us get the word of the show out there. So, do the rate and review, share the posts, do whatever you can. If you see the posts, like them, because I have people tell me all the time, oh, I saw that. And I'm like, well, you didn't like it. The more you like it, the more other people see it.
I can't tell that you liked it or saw
Yeah,
it.
I don't want to be Randy Marsh and be like, Stan, why aren't we friends? But what I mean is, like, the more you share it, the more people see it.
Southside did it.
I do my job.
So I want to thank Evasion for providing our music because they're awesome. Check them out on Bandcamp and Spotify and Facebook and all that stuff. Check us out also on those places that aren't Bandcamp. And go to www.badmoviesworstpeople.com. And that's all for this week. I have been Derek.
I'm always Whitney, and remember to tip those bartenders.
I'm Jack.
Good night and go fuck yourself.
I climbed the poles and tightened the Flibberty Gerbs.